H-Town! What's up? You know what time it is today. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over this world, including Atlanta, Georgia, and the state of Georgia. Y'all, I can't wait. Let me tell y'all something. Hold up. Happy Women Rock Wednesday. Oh, let me tell y'all something, man. I just, y'all know I have this affinity for Wednesday. And because it's Women Rock Wednesday, come a man who got 5 sisters, got a daughter, mother, so yes, of course I'm gonna have an affinity. So before we start anything off, this Women Rock Wednesday, I want to shout out the starting 5 in women today. Men, I see you on there. I see your names. I'll holler at you a little later. But right now, it's about the girls. Let's say Mindy Collins. Let me keep on going. I got Mindy Collins. What else I got? Hold on. Kim Jackson, Dale Griggs, Sonia Billingsley, Tiffany Sanders. Them women don't play, y'all. They in the building. And let me tell y'all something. Let me go through it. I know y'all, boy, y'all. I know y'all. See, let me tell y'all something. Ask a question for me. Before y'all start watching this Chop Shop, were y'all so civically engaged? Hey, Anissa, what's up, baby? Were y'all so civically engaged? Were you worried about or more excited about the elections since we've been talking about it? Y'all see what happened when you get involved? And that's why I want us to get involved. Let's quit talking about Georgia. Let's talk about Houston. Texas. That's a cue. It's not a reason for you to set your lazy ass back and say, look at what Georgia did. No, Texas, just a cue. And women and men, we ain't got to wait on the women. Yes, Stacey Abrams and Latasha Brown and Keisha Bottoms and all of those women down in Atlanta. Let's identify our people here. Landon, who else? What other men on the? Let me see. Let me find Trey Phillips. Let's use all of our collective brilliant minds that we have on this Chop Shop to. Man, we can do it. If they can do it, we can do it. Come on now. They can do it. We can do it. Do me a favor, share the show. Let's get this thing cranked up. It's Women Rock Wednesday. I got a couple of things I want to share with y'all. I'm going through my notes. But y'all, we got to start taking over our state. Jeremy, I ain't worried about it, that governor. If we get enough people, let me tell you something. The rural people, let me just give, where my notes at? This is what I did. I wrote my notes for, Georgia did it. Okay, we'll go there. Georgia did it. Happy Women Rock Wednesday. Hey, Nisha, they officially blew. Now, say what you want about Georgia. Yes, they lost the Super Bowl. They lost the World Series. They lost the SEC championships. But they won the Senate majority, man. They made history electing pastor of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, Reverend Warnock, y'all. The first black Democrat U.S. Senator from the Deep South. And John Ossoff is also in the league about over, I think, 13, as of when I read this morning, about 16,000 votes with 99% of the precincts reporting. I have never been that proud of Georgia. You got to realize I always had a place here, but I had a place and an office in Georgia. I lived in Fulton County, right there. If you ever been to Georgia, you ever seen Phipps Plaza, that street that runs down the side of it? It's called Wyuka. I used to live on that street. So, yes, I have an affinity for Georgia and the people. A lot of my friends are down there. A lot of, let me tell y'all something. Today, the Chop Shop it barged into my personal time today because some people were calling me. You know, I have certain times for my businesses that I have allotted, but the chop shop, y'all, people were calling me about the chop shop today in the morning. I don't usually answer those calls, but I did today. But yeah, we need a new blood. Sheila Jackson Yee, yes, got to get all that. Excuse me. We got to get. Excuse me. She got to pass the torch. I'm sorry, but we got to. Yeah, because she's one of the old guard. We have to get some. We got to find us a Stacey Abrams down here, or a Derek Johnson, or a John Newsom. Dr. John Newsom, Reverend Warnock is a U.S. Senator, man. He's going to be sworn in. Come on, man. Y'all remember what I was telling you about the Senate seat? It's not but 100 of them. 2 from each state. Those are 100 of the most powerful men on this planet, and all of them are white, except Cory Booker. And that other guy, I don't even want to talk about his name. Tim Scott, whatever his damn name is. He's a Republican. I mean, he one of them. But, hey, y'all, I'm just so proud. Hey, Tiffany, I didn't say it. Tiffany, I apologize. I didn't mean that, Tiffany. Sonya, I didn't mean that about Shirley Jackson Lee. I just mean we got to have some new blood. What's up, Chris O'Neal? Where you been, man? Yeah, she can. Yeah. Let me tell you something. A lot of those people were etched in stone. A lot of those people were etched in stone, Lil Rick, and their ass out of a job right now. A lot of those people, like that guy Corey Bush beat. Excuse me. Perfect example, Rick. Let me give you some history, Rick. Corey Bush beat a guy that his daddy and I think his granddaddy always won that damn spot, and Corey Bush beat his ass this year. So let me tell you something, Rick. Anything is possible. I don't want to hear about she got a let me tell you something. It's a new thing going on, y'all, and let's ride it. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm older, but man, I got young ideas and I got a young heart. I know y'all be saying, how did this guy, Robert, calm down. I'm not no regular dude. I've took care of myself. Smoking and drinking and all that stuff and drugs. Robert Haller didn't have the opportunity to put all that in his body. So guess what? I'm all right. But we got an awesome opportunity here, man. I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud of the little dollars and the little, if you ever gave money to the Barack Obama campaign, you already know you're still getting the emails right now about send money. So listen to me, y'all. That's the first ever campaign I've ever gave money to. I repeat, the Barack Obama campaign was the first one I took my money and said, here. I never forget it. And it was the best investment I've ever made. And not that he just, he changed the world for somebody, but that was the first time. And it don't have to be nothing. You remember what Jimmy said yesterday? $25 here. Man, them $25 add up, man. $1,025,000, that's a lot of money. So it's just so unique, man. I'm so proud. I'm proud of y'all. Because I know y'all were calling y'all friends in Atlanta. I know y'all were a part of this. Y'all ignited this thing. And it's just unbelievable. But y'all, I got to stop because let me tell you something happening to of a friend of our show happened today. They 4 players in their first eligibility are among the 15 finalists in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're going to get back to everything, but I got to shout out to Charles Woodson, friend of the show, like a little brother to me. I'll have an opportunity if they don't cancel it or have it virtual. I have the opportunity of being there for 3 times at the the Hall of Fame. So, hey man, shout out to him. Y'all know he one of the guys that do the commercial for us. I don't know if y'all seen some of y'all seen it. I'll put it on the show sometime. He did a commercial for Jimmy and I. Great supporter of this program. He have a wine called Charles Woodson Wines. He got a wine called Intercept Wines. If you see me with the wines on the show, it's him. And now he come out with a bourbon. He got Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. I don't know. And it's sold out already. They remaking it now. It's just, man, I just love to see us just prosper. And let me tell you about some young ladies today. Before I go any further, I'm going to put these young ladies on the screen. Y'all hold on a minute before Jimmy get here. I'm going to put, thank you, Lonnie. I think I put it on the screen. Now, these young ladies right here, let me tell y'all about these young ladies. Thank you, Lonnie Green, for sending me this. I'm putting these up there. These were college roommates, y'all, that turned business partners. Y'all listen to this, Chop Shop, especially all you cynical ones. It's Women Rock Wednesday, right? These college roommates turned business partners closed a deal to buy a $8.3 million hotel. These former college roommates, Devon Reeves and Jessica Myers. Jessica Myers, I want y'all, I'm not going to give you everything. I'm just giving you breadcrumbs so you can go back and find it. I'm going to give you the link to the thing, Derek, about the bourbon. But these young women, man, one of them worked in the hotel industry. And she was, she worked the front desk at a hotel. Now she owns a hotel. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Let me read the press release. These former college roommates turned business partners are making big moves in their career. This week, Atlanta-based, listen to me, y'all. God's talking now. Atlanta-based entrepreneurs, Devon Reeves and Jessica Myers celebrate the big milestone. They acquired the Hilton 2 Suites by Hilton. Home 2 Suites by Hilton in El Reno, Oklahoma. Check this out. Through their Millennial Drive Hotel Ownership Group. These girls formed a group. Listen to what I always tell y'all. We forming a group. Me by myself, Jimmy by himself, ain't nothing. But when we get together, look at the power we make. It's called synergy, where 2 + 2 = 5 or better. Look at the power that we have. I know y'all don't think, because we always talk about basketball, high school basketball, but we got some powerful people on this Facebook feed. What if we got together? They formed a group. Check this out. The deal was done in partnership with Nassau Investments, and it's valued at 8.2. These 31-year-old young ladies, Crystal Wilkes, Women Rock Wednesday, 31 years old. Let me check you out. She said, one of the girls said, I never thought by the time I was 33 that I'd be a hotel owner. But I admit that it feels great to have an accomplished this point in my life. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is unbelievable. But guess what? Don't you think they ain't had an argument before? Don't you think they ain't had a disagreement before? They were roommates. Girl, you're part of your room nasty. Girl, take that. Girl, go wash your clothes. Look what they did. Look what they did. Hey, hold on. I'm not done. I told y'all about that young lady, Crystal McQuarrie, yesterday. Trying to tell y'all about her. Got to tell you about her. This Cole Anthony's mom. Google her, especially mamas. Tiffany Saunders. Yeah, Tiffany, you know what I'm talking about. Tiffany, Google Crystal McQuarrie and Ray McGuire. Crystal McQuarrie is she's an author, she's a producer, she's a mother, and she might perhaps be the next first lady of New York City. Her husband is Ray McGuire's running for mayor. Y'all, I don't know. I know, don't mean nothing to y'all, because we got a black mayor down here. But New York City, they had one, Mayor Dinkins, a long time ago. But New York City, This guy got a chance. But let me give you something about her. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all something. Let me tell you something. A person I know her, who know them, and y'all got to realize they in New York. So of course I'm gonna have an affinity for it because my son Ray was on Wall Street. My son is on Wall Street. So I'm making sure my son know how to cultivate these kind of relationships so he can bring this power back to Houston later on in his career. That's my dream. Might not be his, but it's mine. So a person I know described this lady, y'all check this out, as one of the most incredible human beings he know. How many people would describe that about you? How many people? Friend of mine said this woman is one of the most incredible human beings he know in terms of brains, creativity, and drive. And she was talking about her draft, the draft for her son. You got to realize, out of all this stuff I say she is, Sonia Billingsley, she's a mom. Cole Anthony, I told y'all about. She did a documentary. She even told a story about her. They used to have to drive around in the vans just like y'all did, mamas and daddies, and staying in motels just like y'all did, mamas and daddies, and being a PGW just like y'all do, mamas and daddies. This lady has lived this, and she was talking about the draft, and she said something about that and parents and mamas. This for y'all today. She said it was a dream come true for Cole, but it was stressful to her. I'm gonna let that seep in, Mindy Collins. You got a son out there playing. We don't know Kim Jack. You got a son out there playing football. Ain't no telling what he might be. Ain't no telling what Tiffany Saunders. You might have a son. Sonya, you got a nephew. Nissaville, you might have somebody. Brandon Nickerson, you might have your homes. You might listen to me. She said it was a dream come true for her son Cole Anthony, but it was stressful to her. And let me tell you about Crystal McQuarrie and her plight. Cole, her son, check this out, mamas. He was injured in his freshman year. Talking about Cole Anthony, Mama Jimmy. I know you just come in. He was injured in his freshman year, and he came when he came out of surgery, he did not know, Kim, what was gonna happen. His mama didn't know. This is a mama. She might be Crystal McQuarrie, she might be accomplished, but she's still a mama, just like you, Kim. And she said, and it had a lot of ups and downs during the draft process. You remember Cole was supposed to be a lottery pick, and then people start talking about him. They was on Twitter, and the uncertainty as a mama, she said uncertainty of that's her child. And it made it stressful to her. That's her son. Then guess what? On top of that, this was a pandemic draft. The draft was postponed twice. Crystal, we talked about the Red Sox lady, Bianca Smith. We talked about that briefly yesterday. But we're talking about Crystal McQuarrie right now. Teams didn't know where they was going to pick her son. Okay? You got to understand, Jimmy, I found out from Crystal, Cole was her number. Cole Magic was Cole's number one choice of the teams that were looking at him. Because he had gotten out of the lottery, but the teams were unclear about him, Jimmy, because of the injury. Jimmy, guess who is one of Cole Anthony's best friends? Mo Bamba, former Texas player. Mo Bamba's best friend. Matter of fact, Jimmy, him and Mo played on that team that played against Trae Young. You probably was there. Trae Young and Michael, what's his name? What's the boy? MPJ. What's the kid?
And what now?
What's the kid play for Denver now?
Michael Porter.
Michael Porter. Him and Trae was on the same team, and they played against.
That was the Speech Mocan and the
what's the New York team?
not New Heights.
I don't know the name of it.
It'll come to me. You
But
guys.
Cole was a freshman.
I was getting everything set up on him. My mind going right.
But Jimmy, Cole was a freshman. In that, Jimmy, Cole was a freshman playing with Mo Bamba. He said the mama said Mo Bamba called Cole about 8 times that day during the draft. Man, the draft almost there. The draft almost here. The draft almost. Matter of fact, Jimmy, when Mo Bamba got drafted, you know the Anthonys. I mean, not the Anthonys. Miss McGuire. They live in New York. Mo Bamba stayed at their house the week of his draft. That's how close this family is. But she said that people in the mock draft, Jimmy, you got to hear this now. She said, I'm going to tell y'all something. The people in the mock draft do not know what they're talking about. Now, this is her opinion. She said the PSA Cardinals, was that Jimmy? Were they the PSA Cardinals? Was it the PSA? Okay, all right. But she said, this is a mama now, Tiffany. Tiffany said, I got 2 sons as well. Tiffany, she said she felt joy and relief because the uncertainty was over. And Jimmy, Cole, when Cole first went to Orlando, he was calling his mama and said, Mama, did you put any checks in my bag? Because now I got to pay, light bill, you got to put the deposit down, all that kind of stuff. Got to do some stuff that requires a check. But guess what, Jimmy? She never taught Cole how to write a check. Cole didn't know how to write a check. So she said she had to fill one out and take a picture of it and send to him. She said because these kids in this generation, they used to Venmoing and all that's cash happen. They don't write checks. And she just, Jimmy, then she talked about, and then she did the documentary, Jimmy. And I just wanted to share that with some people about her accomplishments, man. Her husband, Ray McGuire, he's running for mayor now, y'all, New York. Can y'all just grasp that? But Jimmy, she was voted one of the top 40 under 40 when she was a young lady. She's a little older now. But Jimmy, she wrote a book with Rita Ewing, Patrick Ewing's ex-wife, a book called Home Court Advantage. It's a racing novel talking about the basketball wives and the seduction of money and power and trappings. And she wrote that. That's a bestseller, Jimmy. You got to go get that one. It's called Home Court Advantage. Then she wrote another a documentary with Tanya Lee, Spike Lee's wife, called a fictional book. And what's the name of that book? With Gotham Diaries. And she's just an accomplished woman, law school, top lawyer. But she developed that documentary, Jimmy, called Little Ballers with Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony, Steve Nash, Joakim Noah. All of those made cameos in that documentary called The Little Ballers. Y'all catch it, find it somewhere. As she all she did is chronicle the life of what y'all doing, mamas and daddies out there. You Junebugging around the country, Jimmy. So I just want to shout out those women and thank you, Crystal. We can talk about the young lady Bianca Smith, who was the first black woman coach to play in the major leagues, a sport that Jimmy played, and I'm just so proud of her. So we got a couple of guests coming up today. I wanted to make this a special Women Rock Wednesday because of Stacey Abrams, because of Latasha Brown. Those women got down, and I just hope they can plant a seed in some women and men in Texas, because this is where I live, so we can figure out how they did it. So what else you got, Jimmy? What else you got? Because we got a guest coming on at 12:45 also. A woman guest, Coach Leah, supposed to be coming in and talk to us for a few minutes. So what else you got, Jim?
Yeah, we gonna speedball through a few topics because we have a couple of guests on the back end of the Chop Shop today, and once again, a historic day that we have entered. Whereas historic meaning that this is the day that the electoral votes are set to be accepted or validated in Congress. Yesterday, the election in Georgia, Want to give a shout out to all of my people over in the state of Georgia who stepped up and showed out, whether it be in absentee, whether it be pre-early voting, whether it be mail-in voting, that's absentee, but or whether they have been in person at the polls on yesterday. We're going to have on the back nine at the top of the hour one of a very popular uh, person of influence in the state of Georgia, in influence meaning in the sport, in grassroots, that is. But he's going to share his post-election thoughts and coming from that from right there. We're going to bring Georgia to you guys, and which is kind of cool. Also, we want to. I said, speaking of Women Rock Wednesday, and I promised on yesterday towards the end of the show to acknowledge this young lady, and I'm going to post her info on the feed on both feeds shortly. And when I say the name is Ella J. Williams, Miss Williams was pretty visible on the grassroots scene. However, her son was a coach of a team that was called the Crossover Kings. Mm-hmm. Now, the Crossover Kings wasn't sponsored by a sneaker company. They didn't go and travel abroad all over the places. They got it out the mud. Basically, a team that was fielded primarily of urban student athletes, and it gave them an opportunity to play on platforms in efforts to increase them of attaining the goal of playing basketball in college or getting a college education at little or no cost at all. Well, Miss Williams passed away, right? And she's the grandmother of the two guards that we talked about in depth last year during the high school playoffs at Westbury High School. There were twins, Trajan and I think Trayshawn Clay. This is the grandmother of those two young men. These two young men, they pulled off the big upset in the first round of the playoffs. I think they beat, I want to say it was, Memorial. I think they beat over at Delmar Fieldhouse. But, and the thing is, they've established a GoFundMe for Mrs. Williams. And normally at first, and I got contacted by the assistant principal at Westbury High School who reached out, said, hey, we watched the Chop Shop, from the office. Everybody, don't know. We watch it. Can you let the viewers and the followers of the Chop Shop know, and asking anything that you guys are willing to do, then that's greatly appreciated. And once again, I'm going to post the GoFundMe link. And yesterday, and I'm standing firm on it. Guess what? This is not one of those Reverend Ike shakedowns. This is if you are able to do so, albeit you may not have known Mrs. Williams, and then $5 is all it takes, or less. All the people that are watching this show today, $5 or less. That's all. That way now it keeps it where it doesn't hurt. If you can give more, then give more. But we want to help do our part and put our fingerprints in towards helping this family to be able to lay her to rest without having to endure the stress of economic difficulties. So that's all. If it was you or you, we would do the same. All you do, understand, because closed mouth can't get fed. And although guys know I'm a strong advocate, and I firmly believe that life insurance should be mandatory. I believe that. That's just my belief. Because that way now, it's far too many people that when they pass away, a lot of their loved ones have to scramble and throw the hat around the room just to get a funeral. Funerals ain't, trust me, I went to a record number of funerals in 2020. You guys know that. At one point in time, I had the suits in rotation. It didn't wasn't even no sense to put 1 week out. You remember about 1 or 2 weeks? It wasn't even no sense of hanging the suit back up in the closet. You know, you got that little nail in the wall that you put the suit on the outside of the door on one of the rooms, one of the bedrooms. Yeah, I just put it there. What I'm saying, put it back in the closet. And the thing is, my point is, you never know. The Chop Shop is a platform. We here to help in a time of need. We here to just do our part. That woman, she was a good lady. She looked out for her son. It was funny as hell. She wanted to register him. She always used to call me and say, hey, now remember, my son don't get out of work till 4 o'clock. You can't give us no 5 o'clock game. He ain't gonna be able to get all them kids there. And so normally what we do in scheduling teams that certain teams, somebody got to play first. And she would always call him, and it would be okay. She would get all the paperwork together, get all the rosters together, everything that's needed. That grandma did it for those kids. And a lot of those kids idea. She wasn't the coach, but she was the administrator, and she loved those kids for years coming through. And as you grow and see somebody from afar, you learn to respect that. And you see the passion. There are a lot of people out there that are very passionate towards the advancement of your kids through youth sports. There are a lot. Now, meanwhile, there are a lot of people out there that do some hook stuff. There are a lot of people out there, you have to understand, it's a business to others. But if you're paying attention, you'll be able to tell, or you should be able to tell and cipher one from the other. So once again, I put that on that information on the site to you. I think it's time for a quick break, and we come on back. I one more segment, then we get off into talk some, go around the horn. We got news about University of Houston. We got NBA news. We got a little drop of high school news for you, and a lot more when we come back on the Chop Shop. You guys hang right there.
lived with it. I'm sure a lot of you have lived with it as Black men and women that we moved to America. We've apologized for our presence. You know, we've apologized for walking into a room, into a restaurant, you know, getting an education, accepting or expecting that raise in your job. We've almost had to cower and accept the status quo And what I implore every Black and brown person to do is to step in the room and make noise, to have the conversation, to not mince words. Don't worry about what people say about you or what they think. You know, this is our time. We have power and we have to show this power. You belong everywhere you go. This is America and it's our country as much as it is anybody else's. I've never been anywhere else. I was born here. I've traveled the world, but this is where I'm from. And until we start to realize this is our place to be, we will start to understand what government should look like. It should represent us, and it should make sure that people all have opportunities and money funnels into our community. So it takes each person to walk in every room and say, I count, I matter. And everybody, you all count, you all matter. Use your voice and make sure people hear you. And
welcome back to the best. Well said, Way Allen. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world, and great. You know, a lot of people like to run their mouth about stuff, and ain't doing nothing. Let's just start being doers. People just, let's just start being doers. What, Jimmy? When I think about Stacey Abrams, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I'm gonna just be quick here, but when I think about it, when she lost that race, and Jimmy, I'm gonna talk about it a little later. It was some circumstance because Brian Kemp, the guy who he was going to, was a Secretary of State. And he was still had wheels turning. He didn't even resign his position until after he got elected, Jimmy. So he was still active. And it was a lot of stuff went on in voting, stopping people from voting, machines breaking down. A lot of stuff went on in that campaign that caused that lady to lose. And she didn't cry and sit on the sideline and say, well, these black people, we ain't gonna never do nothing. We ain't gonna. No, you know what she did? She mobilized. She organized. And that's what we got to do. All this whining and crying and talking about all that other shit, that's over. We done did enough of that. Now, somebody gave us the blueprint. What, ain't that one of Jay-Z's album titles? The blue. I guess he kept saying blueprint. We got the blueprint. Let's do it. What you got, Jimmy? Take us around the world before our guests come in.
Yeah, around the world. First and foremost, yesterday, University of Houston guard the preseason conference American Conference Player of the Year, Caleb Mills, had placed his name in the transfer portal, and so that is done, and so now, once again, we share quick thoughts on it. We give a quick thought. How do I give a quick thought on it?
You can go, Jimmy. I talked out the other day. You remember I had a whole sequence. I'll let you talk.
Well, here's the deal. It is believed, and it was believed from the get-go. Remember now, and I reiterate from Monday, Caleb Mills quit the team. So now his actions prove true from the source and the news that I gave you guys that we gave on Monday. Mm-hmm. He quit. Now, the spin was a good spin. It was a good try. What the try was, he was leaving the team for personal reasons, and which is true. But it also would, whenever you see that, it gives the staff an opportunity and the kid an opportunity to change the mind, to change the decision. So it bought a little time. When they realized it was a point of no return, done deal. So now he's expected. The team to beat is North Carolina. The Tar Heels is where he's expected to go. And we hit on that on Monday as well. You're going to go to a team that's not even the top. You're going to leave a top. Well, when you left, they were top 5 in the country. And you're going to go to a team willingly, knowingly, to a team that not even ranked in the top in the country.
But they might be next year when he is able to play. He can't play this year, no way, right?
Well, the thing is, you leave at the break, Hatter. Normally, you can't play until the break of the following year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get a waiver.
Okay. Why not?
He's not going to get a waiver.
But why? But the coach will give him his release, don't he? Won't it?
Yeah. But you're not going to get a waiver. NCAA say you have to sit out 2 semesters.
Okay. All right. But Jimmy, pandemic year. They might.
He could have played that card before he left. He got a pandemic. Yeah, he was one of the players. They had a whole team, as Coach Sampson said.
But Jimmy, he got an extra year anyway.
But hold on. What does
he trying to go pro
when you say, hold on, what does an extra year matter when you say that you're going to only be one and done after this year?
I cannot believe that kid say he was one and done. I never heard that. I'm glad you got better resources than I have. I never heard him say that.
Remember, Nate Hinton put his name in the draft. This young man was
Nate Hinton wasn't one and done though. Nate Hinton wasn't one and done.
No. Okay. I didn't say one and done. He's been in college 2 years. I'm saying after this year, meaning I'm gonna come back for this year.
I got you. Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, now once again, things change. But guess what? Let me tell you something, guys. From the moment that University of Houston had to persuade him to come back this year. Remember, Nate Hinton left, he was going to leave as well. Nate Hinton put his name in the draft. This young man decided he tested, but under the underground. And guys out there know what I mean. How do you know what I'm talking about? There are many guys that tested without officially testing it.
Yeah.
He tested without officially testing it.
Yeah.
And he was going to make his move. Then so you get people, at the time, BJ was living, hey man, you making them crazy decisions. You may get your butt. And they had to coerce him off the ledge.
BJ have talked a lot of parents off the ledge, Jimmy.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
So now you get off the ledge, and guess what? That means we have to beg you to come. And normally that's why that old cliche holds true in so many lengths and depths of our society. You have to beg them to come. Sooner or later, you have to beg them to stay.
Yes, sir.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Guess what? Good riddance, because now the Cougars, they have an 8-man rotation now. And that's why sometimes little guys like Jamal Shedd, Manor High School, he on paper, just a year ago, there was so many people in the state of Texas saying, I don't know why in the hell he's going to Texas. Where he going to play at? How he going to get some minutes?
You said it too.
No. What I said was that was a good pickup. He's Kevin Sampson's type of guard, but I don't see him playing that first year.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right.
I love the pickup because after watching him play and saw how he played, I say Kevin Sampson gonna love this dude, which he already did, all from a scholarship.
He's a tough cat. Tough young man.
But this dude, he's playing now because you never know what can happen.
But Jimmy, you always need depth. And see, that's what in this pandemic, I just like depth. I like depth. And our guest is coming on right now, Coach Leah, Jimmy. We'll squeeze her in and get her out of here. But yeah, Jimmy, I think about the depth part of it, Jimmy. Now we're hitting an echo. I got an echo in the background. I got you, Coach Leah. Yes. Jimmy, we're gonna get back to U of H. Let's bring Coach Leah in because we can talk about that as soon as you come on. Let me hit this button and see, can we bring her on? Let me just bring her on right here. Okay. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy Women Rock Wednesday.
How you doing, Coach?
She done got dialed up over there, Jimmy. Jimmy, what you said she put on? Hey, here go Jimmy. Jimmy said, "How do you might need to lick, put some spit on you and lick your hair back like alfalfa when somebody come on." But yeah. But hey, Coach, do me a favor, Coach.
Right there.
Coach, do me a favor. Tilt your device a little. Yeah. So now you level with us. You follow me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So talk to me
Something's going
today.
on with my screen.
Oh,
There
your
we go.
screen, you're looking good. You're looking good. You're looking good. So talk to us about, as Women Rock Wednesday, this is the founder of Alex, who always sponsors Women Rock Wednesday. And you got something you want to talk about today. And guess what? The floor is yours. You send me a tweet. This wasn't the tweet that I wanted, but it'll suffice. Okay, but you sent me. No, you tweeted. No, that's all right. It'll suffice. I wanted you to tell me about what was going on in the letter, in the tweet, but you just told about the letter. So I'll let you talk, and I will put it up on the screen. Okay, talk to me about what you got going on.
All right. Well, basically, we just want everybody to know that the Institute for Arts and Academic Leadership and Athletic Excellence, we are officially registered in both the states of Texas and Minnesota. Of course, I've been registered in Minnesota for over 25 years, but I was really excited to be officially registered in the state of Texas, since this is my home state now, and I'm a proud resident of Houston and in the Metroplex. I want everybody know that since I've been here, I've really supported, grassroots community initiatives and things of that nature. And so Alex is looking for Diamond in the Rough Fellows. And so we need you to go to our website at coachleah.net to nominate women young women that are deserving. So you need to go to the website to find out what the criteria is for that. Or you can just, hit me up on the website. If you go to my website, I literally can talk to you right as soon as you jump on my website. I can send you a message right there from my mobile device, from my computer. It's pretty cool. But we want to know of some deserving young women that can be Diamond Fellows, because our Diamonds program through our Fraser Foundation is powered by the Institute for Arts and Academic Leadership and Athletic Excellence. Again, proud supporter and sponsor of Women Rock Wednesday in the Chop Shop. And I'm just so honored that you guys are, that we're able to partner, I know, right? Partner with the Chop Shop in initiatives having to do with, community support, women, any of those things. We are so happy to partner with the Chop Shop, and look forward to doing some really great things in the future. So we're an official Fraser Foundation is a 501c3. So any donations, which that was the other thing. We talked briefly earlier in the week, our mini grant wanting to give to deserving girls, grassroots organizations or high school organizations that for basketball. And so we need support from you if you want to partner with us to provide mini grants to these girls organizations. We're getting ready to launch the Sweetheart Shootouts in February. So we want you guys to join with our efforts in supporting girls and women's girls sports there. And female, if you know some female coaches, and they can be coaching men or women, we want to as well, because the other thing that Alex specializes in is coaching female executives in male-dominated industries. And let me tell you a story real quick.
Okay.
So my husband and I were at the bank yesterday and speaking with an investment professional. And when I was telling him what our nonprofit does, he got really excited and said, "Hey, I want to talk with you about women in male-dominated industries, because this particular industry is really suffering for women as investors." And so I was like,
wait a minute. Hold on.
How I am.
Investors or investment professionals? Which one?
Both, but really on the banker side, they're looking at investment professionals that can help guide other investors. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and women, I thought women dominated banking, but
not on that side. On the banking side, yes, but on the investment side, no.
On the teller side, they dominate the tellers.
I got you. Okay.
So exactly, and so wanted me to make that very, very clear. They didn't know I was going to have this platform to speak to you guys today, but when we were having our conversation, he wanted me to know clearly that on the professional investors side, that's where females are lacking. Now think about it. When you think of Wall Street and you think of your son where he is right now, how often does he talk about women on the floor?
None but
Exactly.
men.
Exactly. And so, but again, we want to help find and guide women in male dominated industries. And it can be any industry. I don't profess to be an expert in every industry.
Yeah.
There are some that I am an expert, but I
Okay.
don't profess to be an expert in every industry. But I guarantee you, I am 1 degree of separation from an expert in every industry. Because I mean, we've been around. I'm kind of old. I mean, I know I don't look it.
No.
But I've been around,
That-
and relationships are everything. And so, and when you cultivate and maintain great relationships with people, people tend to not really go anywhere, which is really nice. I mean, you would think that when you have a rapport with somebody, you can call on them 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, and they will answer the phone or answer your tweet or answer your DM or answer your message, because these platforms that we have, and you reminded me that of yesterday or a couple of days ago.
Right.
These platforms, you can get anybody at any time to conduct any type of business. It can be business or it can be just, I'm just checking in on you, which is kind of, that's really cool. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm super excited about the things that we have to offer. I'm super excited about our relationship. Women rock on this Wednesday. I mean, there's so much going on. I mean, I'm so happy for the first female professional baseball coach. And she said something on an interview earlier today that really resonated with me, that she now has the ability to be at those clinics and be that female at the clinics. I remember my times of being with Blue Star basketball and, working for Lucas and, being the only female in that space. But, that's important because it shows others, not necessarily girls, that they can do this type of work, but it shows men that women, we know what we're talking about.
I got a question for you. Before that, she couldn't come to the clinics because of
she could, but because of her elevated status, her elevated position.
Okay.
Her posture now is much different.
Okay.
The way that they look at her and listen to her.
Okay.
I mean, she probably has always been, for sure, she has always been very good at what she does.
Yeah.
And the information that she's partaking to the players, to other management, to administrators and things like that, which is why they hired her, right?
Yeah.
But now that she's in the position that she's in, when she goes to these different venues, it has a different posture. Yeah. And she's able to make a bigger impact.
So a cachet has been elevated.
Indeed.
Okay. I like that.
Indeed.
I like that. Indeed. And so have yours. Do me a favor. Give those people the website again. And because I saw how you can interact with you immediately if you go to this. She got this cooler box on her website. And you can, if you hit it and talk to her, she can talk back. Y'all, I'm telling you, do me a favor. Tell the people what. I'm going to be flashing it across the screen. During the show, but tell them again before you leave, and anything else you want to share with us, and just let us know what else going on.
Okay, so it's www.coachleah.net. That's COACHLEAH.net. Jump shot like a basketball net. Yeah, I still got it. I mean, there's gonna be some haters that are gonna be like, no, you don't. No.
Let them hate. Hey, let them hate.
But yeah, so that's where you can find out information about the Institute. Mm-hmm. We have a tab where you can go right to the Fraser Foundation Fellowship, learn about what has happened over the past 20, 25 years with all the young women who we've been able to, touch their lives and help guide them in their professional careers now. And but we are looking for nominations of young girls that are high school level that we can now name as fellows, and that's nationwide. We of course we started just in Minnesota. We're rolling this out all over the country, so you can be anywhere we're not ready to go global because there's some things that we would have to just make sure are in place for eligibility and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, globally we are able to support these girls that fit the criteria for being a Diamond Fellow. And so learn about that. You know, I giggle because as I'm working alongside Jimmy and Robert Hatter here with the Chop Shop, and then my husband is the CFO of our nonprofit as well as our for-profit organization. I make the money so I can give it away. He's the CFO because he knows how to make sure that it goes to the right place and we are able to save, make and save.
Yeah.
But I make to give away. But I need y'all's help.
Yeah.
And because we know that these girls programs need the support. And again, I'm also looking for female executives in male dominated industries.
Okay.
Or if you know of a young woman who looks like they would be great, but they just need some support. They just need some guidance. They just need somebody to say, no, that wasn't a crazy decision that you made. Or, you know, just little things, you know, we want to support that woman executive as well. So.
I'm gonna get your Cardi B number. I want you to talk to her. But Jimmy,
I'm ready.
Now give him that tell him how to get in touch with you again. Real quick.
One more time. Yeah.
Okay, so and I'm also on LinkedIn. Okay. I have a lot of engagement on LinkedIn as well. So Coach Leah, I believe it's Coach Leah 40 on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
Coach Leah at Coach Leah 40 is my Twitter.
Okay.
At Coach Leah 40 is my Instagram.
Okay.
Oh my God, I wanted to mention this. First of all, did you guys know that, and you probably didn't know this, as your visibility becomes elevated, so does the hackers and the haters.
Yeah.
Do you know that I was cloned and hacked recently?
Yeah, you told me.
I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
So, I've got to put some more filters and things in place. And I appreciate it because I know that it's because of the Chop Shop that I'm getting a lot more hits and a lot more visibility. I mean, as far as Russia, somebody tried to friend me out of Russia the other day, and I was just like, side eye. But I don't want to pass judgment. But at the same time, right around that same time, was when somebody cloned my Instagram Messenger. So again, if you get a friend request or any message, I don't messenger on Instagram. That's what I don't do. Okay. If you send me a message, if I send you anything, it's going to come from a legitimate source, from my website, from an email, from a phone call. I'm that chick. So I'm not going to Instagram you with Facebook and ask you to. No, I'm not doing that. That's a clone, and Facebook is trying to shut it down, and hopefully they will. But here very, very soon.
I'm glad you said that, Jimmy, because they have been telling us on the Chop Shop, and they've been telling me to make more filters and filter this thing out because people evidently people been trying to get at us. So thank you so much, girl. Let me tell you something. You are a woman that rocks. You rock every day, but especially on Wednesday. And you tell Robert, let me tell you something. You so smart, you went and got a husband named Robert. So I know you're bad. So but shout out to you, and we looking forward to some stuff you got coming up in the future soon in February around Valentine's Day. We look forward to that. We'll talk about that in the future. But shout out to you. I'm so proud of you. And thank you for being a partner of the Chop Shop.
Thank you. And then may I just say just two last things as parting words, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Again, Happy New Year's 2021 is going to be amazing. And I have to give a shout out to our pastor. I'm going to claim you over at Wheeler, Robert, even though you're not official yet.
That's all right. That's all right.
We're Wheeler wherever, right?
Yeah.
But I got to give a shout out to my pastor, the Reverend Dr. Marcus D. Cosby,
bad man.
who when I shared with him some of the amazing things that have been happening in my personal life and professional life, he said, "Oh, so we're prospering during pandemic." And then during his first Sunday sermon, he actually mentioned that. And so we are, and we gotta claim that, own that, and move with that going into 2021. We are prospering during pandemic. We are finding ways to shake and move and make things happen.
Jimbo?
All right, there you go, guys. And of course, Coach Leah in full effect. Women Rock Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us. We got to go to a quick break, and we come right back. We have our next guest that's joining us from Georgia, guys. The scene of
what you do
made overnight. What happened?
No, it just when she went off, it just
and of course we go to a quick break. We come right back. You guys hang right there. It's about to get lit up in the chop shop.
Hold on, let me hit you one. Bam.
Hey, Queen.
Hey, Queen.
Hey, Queen. Sister.
Girl, you've done it again.
You are constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing so flawlessly.
You do know that you're that girl, right?
I hope that when you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, you see how divine you are.
Know that so many people want what you got.
You have dreams to fulfill and promises to yourself that you must keep.
I know at times you feel underappreciated and misvalued. Trust me, we've all been there.
So it's necessary that you can count on yourself.
Now, don't go seeking perfection.
Extend yourself a little grace.
Don't be afraid to celebrate the little wins as much as the big ones.
You, Miss Thang, are courageous. You are dynamic. You are principled.
So, baby girl, just remember, respect is a minimum.
There's a sweet justice in knowing that the path you are on was designed for you and you alone.
Doing right by yourself never goes out of style.
Everything about you is majestic and a force to be reckoned with.
Trust me, people are paying attention.
You're special and worthy of praise. Don't shy away from it.
And you don't have to get your groove back because guess what? You never lost it.
It's also important to rest. Make sure your hustle doesn't get in the way of your health. Girl, take care of yourself.
And the next time you want to second guess yourself, don't do it.
So pause for a second right now and relax, relate, release.
You are needed. You are appreciated.
Girl, you make me so proud. And I love you.
Remember,
you are 100%
that queen.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Queen.
Happy Women Rock Wednesday. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. Y'all, we had a great guest. Oh, Coach Leah Denley. It's just unbelievable. That young lady who was a guest on the Chop Shop. Then she was a supporter of the Chop Shop. Now she's a sponsor of Women Rock Wednesday. Let me tell y'all something. Yeah, that piece I'm going to play every Wednesday from those powerful women. Because every Wednesday I want to celebrate, women on Women Rock Wednesday. But Jimmy, we got a special guest. Young fella, boy. Jimmy, I know we're going to talk about it. I remember when you first met him. You came back and told me about him. I mean, it's just, you know what? It just warmed my heart to see, when I see young men, I see them grinding, and then stuff happened for them. I mean, you know how you just watch them? They take step, were respectable all the time. Whether, they were just trying to elevate themselves without knocking others down. And I watched him and his partner. I watched them. Then one went this way and one went this way. And Jimmy, I'm gonna let you introduce Matt, but it just warms my heart to see this happening. And now he coming back and own the chop shop. But Jimmy, I'll let you do the honors. Please introduce our special guest today.
Oh man, you hit it on the nail, on the head. But that's right now. We just get right into it. Of course, we have a young man that is one thing about relationships is what I always stress to a lot of the viewers that's on. A lot of you guys, a good portion of you are maybe parents or relatives of student athletes, and that student athlete may be in the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade or just graduated. Well, that means your relationship probably directly with me probably transpired within the last 4 years. But it takes time to nurture that relationship. This young man right here was out, and I met him as a member of the trio that created CourtCred.com. Court Cred was up and coming, and they was out there on the grind. They were covering. They were based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They were out and had a lot of ideas on getting stuff, and they were at the age at the time when none of them had kids, none of them were married, and nobody had to be at home, had to make curfew, so they were grinding around the clock. So when I saw the energy that they were exhuming around the country, trying to just get in. So I took them on. I said, hey, y'all come on. Let's go drink one. And then I go to Atlanta, fly to Atlanta, go hang out, go meet with them, Right. And then I say, you know what? Let me put an investment into them. I put them on the plane, flew them to Houston for, I think, the Super 16.
One of them events.
Then it might have been the spring icebreaker for a couple of times. Come on down here. And think about it. Didn't know him good enough. I liked him, but I invested in them, meaning that, invested mean the return would be one day when I get older in life, and they look back and say, man, come on, let's get a trip down. Hey, thanks.
Let's go to Spot Divots. Hold up. Let's go to Spot Divots.
Yeah, let's go to Spot. We done did that too. we done did that too already. So, and so now he goes farther. A couple of years later, an opportunity presents itself for this young man to get into the grassroots business with Nike. And he
Hold on, Jimmy. You can't mention Nike without me doing that. Okay.
And it's funny because they knew that, relationships, and so you don't leave no relationship unturned when you're trying to get somewhere. And I'm gonna watch this right here where I'm gonna follow me really closely.
Okay.
Listen. During this time, it's not like he's making a public campaign to get with Nike. You just check in with your traps. You got a meeting, you got an interview, and everybody tell you to keep it under wraps. So I'm introducing to you guys Matt, the Mayor Verdon. And Matt, you can continue that story from the time you went to the interview, mind you, and you getting ready to go in the interview. What did you learn and who did you see there?
The interview in St. Louis?
The interview with Nike, who did you find out was going after the same position that was right there? Tell us that's how did.
One of my good dear friends, Kerry Willis.
No,
like my business partner. Yeah.
No, they were.
So how did they explain that? How did they come about?
Hold on, Matt. Did both of y'all know that? Did you tell him you applied, or did he tell you he applied? Or y'all got to keep it under wraps?
Kind of kept it under wraps a little bit, but then it's then kind of like as time progressed, because you don't be knowing what information gets shared to you that's private, saying the other person. So we kind of kept it quiet. Then it's
smart.
We both were kind of once we got there, it's kind of once time progressed, we got there, we kind of figure everything out or whatever. There's what time your interview? It's my time. Like, man, best man win. Like, it wasn't no hate. It wasn't no like, hey, whoever get on, we got to make sure we lift each other up and like send the elevator back down. And that's how it went. I was just so blessed to have an opportunity to interview, really.
Jimmy, that's a hell of a story. I didn't know that until just now. Y'all got to realize the guy I met him with, they like freaking frack. And both of them going for the same thing. And then they got there and said, hey man, whichever one of us win, send the elevator back down.
And we shared a hotel room the whole weekend.
They were the same room. Yeah.
We shared the same room.
They were the same room.
Hey, Jimmy, that need to be a lesson. Young men in the Houston area, because this is where we live. Get this tape and play it over and over and over again. Just because Matt or Curry, because one of them gets a position, that means he is in a position to help his partner. Don't hate him, man. He too old. Matt, he done did this too long. Let's get some more people in the bit. I mean, no, y'all said, hey man, hold up. I know how y'all feel about each other. When you win, he won. How about that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, keep going.
Keep going. Go on, Matt.
Oh no, that's what it was. Then like one thing that kind of led to another, and that's where we at with it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and then of course Kerry ended up getting the opportunity to serve in the grassroots sector with Under Armour the next summer. So it opportunity had opened itself for him. So he got a chance. That means both of these guys that were beating the streets got an opportunity to go and get and I guess and diversify their portfolios by learning and extending their understanding, their knowledge, and their reach within the grassroots basketball and beyond. And so now, tell us, what year was this? We'll tell the story. What year did you come aboard with Nike with the grassroots division?
I want to say, 15, 16? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think 2016.
Yeah, it was somewhere around the De'Aaron Fox time. I remember Fox was playing at the time. It was somewhere around that time. So this is not understanding. We're not talking about
the first year was the peak jam of the Trae Young and the Michael Porter.
And we talked about that earlier.
Which I have that picture frame. 2016 because I got it framed right here. Hold on.
Okay, go get it.
Don't fall out that damn chair.
Yeah, this
wow.
This the picture frame.
That was the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was my first year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't working close with the team, but like, you know, this is my first year, first Peace Jam, and like being a part of the squad and, you know what I'm saying, watching them guys kind of flourish like Trae Young, Michael Porter, Jonte Porter, Cartier Gordon.
Let me tell y'all something, man. And I know you new to it, but let me tell you something. That's a unique experience. And I came back, Matt, and was telling the parents, if you ever get a chance, I don't care if your son ain't playing, take your butt to the Peace Jam. You got the man, y'all and your staff, and I saw you were in a different capacity than you were probably back then. You were, you know, y'all put on a show. Y'all make when I come in there, especially maybe it's just me. I hope it. I had a great experience being there, Matt, and I know a lot. You behind the scenes, I don't know what it takes. The security. I mean, y'all do a lot to make sure that thing run smoothly, man. Could you, as much as you can, could you take our audience? Because a lot of our people haven't been there. Could you take them behind the veil and let them see a little bit?
Just kind of like, you know, kind of a lot of the planning part. Just kind of like, I don't think people understand from like the production standpoint, from like the TV crews, the security operations, making sure the coaches have their packets, the hospitality room, credentials. Peace Jam is such a small venue, but you also got to make sure you got to have room for your college coaches, your VIPs, spectators, crowd control because I really knew how much went into it being on that side. But like I remember my first Peach Jam. My first Peach Jam is going down there just kind of watching, kind of like figuring out was I think it was Indy Eby versus Al Jefferson.
A long time ago.
Yeah. So like I'm just going down there like, sitting in the stands, kind of watching the games and kind of floating around. Then as time progresses, you're like, this is the man, you got to go down there for a day or two, start building a network, and then being on the other side is kind of like if you in there earlier, get a seat, like, I can tell you. And they say Augusta, Georgia, that's the second largest moneymaker for that city out in the first is the Masters. That's how much economic impact it has on that city.
Hey man, tell me about the man. I talked to one of the men who owns the apples. The apples.
Peaches.
The peach. Sorry. The peaches. One of the guys who owned one of the places that, because he was a VIP, and I was talking to him. He said, "Yeah, my place the one furnished the peaches that the players be eating in the ops. The players, I mean VIPs and stuff. Tell me about that. Yeah."
I met the dude once in passing, like, what I'm saying? But then, like, so I know he provides the peaches, and he provides the peaches to the local church. The local church oversees the hospitality room, the peanut butter jelly sandwich, the fresh peaches to go on top of the cake. They do all that stuff. That's all them. And, like, they do an amazing job, good spirit. So, like, those, like, it's like a regular pound cake with the peaches on top. And that thing be so sweet and good, you be like, man.
I ain't no talk about that thing, man.
That's a must have.
Yeah. Wow. It tastes like syrup in them peaches, man. I don't know what the hell they put in them peaches. I ain't lying. I say, man, you ain't gonna get me hooked on. I'm from H-Town. I eat one of them peaches, man. I'm gonna put some peaches in the white styrofoam cup, and they ain't know I'm side. I ain't gonna rock like that.
Hey man, somebody was laughing at me because I said apple, but you got to understand, I've traveled the world, so I've been where they make the apples. I've been in Washington where the apples, but this time I was at the peach jam. It was peaches, and you're right, but that was amazing. What else you got, Jimmy? What you got for my man?
Now, also, of course, just tune in. We got Matt Verdon, Matt the Mayor, out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's with Nike Grassroots Basketball. We're talking about his journey. If you just missed it, you guys don't forget. You can also go back and watch the show after it's over in its entirety. We're streaming right now live. Facebook, YouTube. You guys on YouTube right now, take out the time, give us a thumbs up on Facebook. Share the show right now, because we're about to go and take this thing and turn and take the plane even higher.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who need to get some of this intel that Matt the Mayor is about to provide. First,
hey, Jim, hold up, Jimmy. Jimmy, the Proud Boys trying to storm the Capitol. The Proud Boys.
I was going to break that in at the top after the break. But I'll let that go. But they tried to storm the Capitol. They had an evacuation on Capitol Hill for one of the buildings, and the other ones they're doing a shelter in place. But the police, remember, they had the Coast Guard already deployed there.
Not the Coast Guard, Jim.
They put them billy clubs upside their heads now, because here's what's going. You understand, guy? Now, a lot of people earlier in the show, and I think Crystal shared the news that Mitch McConnell even denied.
I don't want to talk about. Now that's who I don't want to talk about.
And I'm saying, so now it's showing now, like, man, you can't help me no more. You up out of there. I'm up out of here, man. You know what? I'm on the other side. I'm denying that. Trying to keep it so.
Jimmy, help me. Mitch McConnell ain't gonna never say he on the other side. He just gonna say he ain't with that.
No. The other side. Understand something now.
Nah.
One of the things that I was listening to, I can't remember you remember that old colonel from Louisiana after the Hurricane Katrina?
Colonel Honoré.
No, not the black one. Oh. It was a white one.
Oh, okay.
They had a black one, and they had a white one. That the white one ended up going on like CNN afterwards and would give.
Schwarzkopf.
No, not him. He ain't from Louisiana. I'm talking about Louisiana guy, the Cajun guy. You know what I'm saying? I think he had cancer or something, and he got sick. But he was on last night, and he brought up a hell of a point. He says a lot of after elections, the Democrats normally will just shrug it up. We lost, and we'll get deflated, but we dust ourselves. Democrats will dust themselves off and just keep on moving. But when Republicans lose, they come with meat cleavers after each other. And case in point, remember the election back when, remember Sarah Palin? What happened to her?
We don't even know about her no more.
Remember? No, I'm just saying though, remember during the election, she could do no wrong. But once that election was over with, they went after her head. Remember McCain, rest in peace? Remember how they went after him? Now, my thing is, that's why I said going back to the other side of the ring with the other Republicans, because remember they were blue breed. But now, speaking of elections, Matt, you're in Atlanta. I need you to tell me the atmosphere was what it's feeling like down there in Georgia right now. What time did you go to bed? What time did you stop watching the election? Take us through the point. When did you vote?
For the Senate that was on June, that was yesterday. I voted last week, early voting last week. Took me about 5 minutes. Go in, check in. They do the social distancing thing, then go in. We had three ballots, three people on the ballot. Vote, cast your ballot, get your sticker, rolling out. Easy process.
Stacey, tell me what you think about Stacey Abrams, man. Tell me, you being down there. I know people who know her pretty good. Tell me what you think. Just you being a young man, and you see this lady who got defeated. Instead of being defeated, she went and turned out to be a champion. What you think about it? Huh?
I think with her spearhead and everything was amazing. Now you look back, 2018 was a big sacrifice for her because of the having a situation with the governor race. And for her to not get discouraged, still had a game plan, because we had a big issue with voter suppression. Like, you go to different spots in Metro Atlanta, people waiting hours just to cast a vote. It's discouraging in the rain. But then, like, she kind of took the initiative to kind of like voter suppression. Like, we're not having this. So I know she led the charge for like getting new machines, multiple machines, all over the state, which is super high tech. Use a stylist, she get the sheet out, get it, cast a ballot, and kind of like her initiative spread it all over for voter suppression, and also just educate people to vote. Why it's important to vote. It don't matter your age to vote. And the next election is kind of like a more smoother process. Still working out the kinks, and now it's like, look what we have. Like, I think she was on the forefront to helping the Georgia turn into a blue state.
Unbelievable.
And now in the grassroots sector, I think earlier this year, well, it's 2021, a couple of months ago, we had head coach of Georgia State, Rob Lanier, on the Chop Shop. And briefly, he had explained us about some of the efforts and measures that he and a lot of other coaches like himself were implementing, such as voter registration mandatory for players and whatnot. What's your thoughts on, first I want to ask you the sentiment of the young teenagers, the upper teenagers out there that are involved in your circumference of grassroots of the basketball sector, whether it be amateur, whether it be in high school or even in college. Are they engaged, or were they engaged with any of these recent elections?
All right. So I didn't go to sleep last night till about 4:45. I was just up watching, reading articles. People was on the group chat just going crazy about just the momentum that was happening last night. So I didn't answer that question. For the grassroots effort, I know from a Nike standpoint, we created a lot of stuff. We partner with We All Can Vote, the Michelle Obama that she partnered with too as well. They kind of did a lot of voter initiatives to kind of explain the voter stuff. We did a big Zoom with Jason Tatum, Chris Paul, and Josh Okogie, and talk about their experience voting and stuff like that. For me, I did my own personal voter registration and kind of explaining the youth why it's important to vote. It don't matter who you vote for, but you need to know what rules and regulations are up, and you need to cast a vote so you can have a voice. It don't matter if it's the LGBT community stuff or it's about legalizing marijuana. All this stuff is important, you know what I'm saying? But I always have to explain to a lot of kids directly, like, hey, the president don't have that much power. Everything starts local and work from the bottom up. Local, state, then federal. So you have to understand, like, you vote for the president, like, he don't have no power. You got to touch bases with your local community, vote for them in. Then you have a problem, you touch bases with them, and it goes up the ladder. So I know a lot of kids who turned 18 who voted, a couple of college players. Hey man, like, can you help me? Who should I vote for? Who should educate me? I send them a couple links. This is what these people stand for. Just go in there, vote for what you believe in. It ain't about what I want you to vote for, but like, this is what I think you should do. But like, vote for what you feel in, what you stand by, and go forward.
But you do educate them first, Matt. You do educate them first. And you know, because you can't just tell them to vote for who you want to, because if you don't know, you'll vote for something. You vote for a clown. You got to.
It's a link that I use. I can't forget the name of it, but like, it's like I think it's called Ballotpedia, and it has a sample ballot of the Georgia in every state, and it has a link to tell you who's voting, what you vote for. Go to their website, what they stand for, and it was like, hey, this person might be, they want to legalize marijuana. You know what I'm saying? No charges, stuff like that. A lot of people smoking for different reasons. Hey, this might be something that interests you. I know minimum wage, that type of stuff. All that stuff like plays a big factor. So just educating them and let them know this is what's going on, so you have a voice. So you'll be, when you see these local people in the community, you can congratulate them or hold them accountable. Like, hey man, I feel like this thing going on. You have a voice. So yeah.
I saw you tweeted something today. You tweeted why did you tweet out about Merrick Garland, Cole? You said Merrick Garland, Cole. What you mean?
Oh, Merrick, because you know he was appointed by Obama, but then like he couldn't take the seat for this. He was appointed for the Supreme Court. He couldn't take the seat. Go ahead.
Because they didn't confirm him.
Right.
Yeah.
So he got kind of pushed out the way.
Yeah.
So now he's appointed Attorney General, so now they got to report to him.
No, but you know what I don't like about it, Matt? I got mixed emotions about it. I just think Biden could have made a better choice. I wasn't even me, a choice for. Man, I got a couple of them. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. But the reason I say this, you got to understand, I didn't agree with all of Obama's appointments. I didn't agree with Obama. Was my dude now, but I didn't just agree with everything he everything he did. But it's just that you got to understand, this new we are in the precipice of a civil rights. Civil rights, but we got the George Floyd things coming, bill. We got a whole lot of stuff. I just don't know if Merrick Garland is gonna be that guy to fight for us. I know he's not gonna be. He's not gonna be like who is the guy? He's slipping my mind. The one Obama appointed. Y'all help me. The black attorney general. I cannot believe I didn't forget his name. Somebody put his name up. They'll put it up in a minute. But I just don't know if Merrick Garland, man. I just don't know. It's just something about that. I mean, I'll tell you about it later, Matt, because I don't want to talk about it on air. Just something about
I didn't see him coming, but I kind of like
Eric Holder. Thank you, Rick. Eric Holder. I can't believe neither one of y'all knew Eric Holder. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about so many things. But when I saw you, when you tweeted, I said, Matt, do me a favor, Matt. You go back. I'm just giving you a breadcrumb. Go back and study Merrick Garland. Because I was against even Obama appointing him back then. But just go back. I just want you to go back. We're going to Jimmy back. I just want you to go back and check up on him. That's all.
I thought he was probably. I thought in my mind, my personal opinion, like this could be a favor for Sally Yates. Sally Yates could have been a good candidate for Attorney General as well. But
I wanted a black woman. I wanted a black man. Excuse me. I wanted a black man, another black man. Just me, because I know what we up against. We up against the Attorney General is over all the law enforcement. Where we getting shot in the back every day, Matt. People that look like Merrick Garland and Sally Yates that shot us in the back. They shot this guy the other day. I just need somebody who would be more sympathetic. Merrick Garland ain't never got stopped by the police, Matt, and scared when he see the police lights behind him. You follow me? Merrick Garland and Sally Yates, when the police stopped them, they said, "Come on, man, bring it on." When the lights pull up behind me and you, I'm nervous than a hooker in church. I'm just telling you. And I ain't never did nothing illegal. And I'm just nervous because I don't know who the fool is in that car. So that's why I said, man, I'm just not so sure. I mean, but guess what? Joe Biden is one of them too now. Y'all got to realize. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I voted against Donald Trump. And I voted for Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for old Joe. Joe been in this shit for 40, 50 years. He one of them. You follow me? He one of them, Matt. Don't ever forget that now. Matt, Joe ain't never been stopped by the police either, Matt. So I'm just sharing some stuff as I'm watching this stuff, man. I'm watching my monitors all over, Matt, and I'm watching these people go in the Capitol with these Trump flags. Matt, what'd you think about that?
It's terrible. Super terrible. It's like, I don't understand why people acting like this. Like, it was like, what's the big, I think the president now, Trump has created such big division amongst everybody, because we've never seen this with Bush, Obama, Clinton, Carter. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never seen nothing like this. Now it's kind of like, it's a vote. You vote. Whoever wins, and we just go forward with whatever laws and regulations. Now it's kind of like, it's such a big uproar. It's kind of like,
it started with Obama, though. It started with Obama, Matt. They didn't like that dude. Y'all got to remember, the White House is called what? The White House. They didn't expect for no black person to be living in there. You got to really,
for 2 terms.
Yeah, and guess what? You got to remember, soon as your homegirl, what's her name, Melania Trump. You know what one of her first acts she did, Matt, when she got to the White House? She told them to change out all the toilets. In other words, I don't want to sit on no toilet they done sit on. Go Google that, Matt.
Oh, wow.
Matt, Melania, that's one of her first acts when she walked in the door. I ain't sitting on no commode they done sit on. Change them all out. How about that, Matt? Google that. Matt, everybody always Googling stuff. Google that. Matt, so guess what? If I was Jill Biden, I'll walk in there and sit. And especially Kamala, when she because they got a vice president's quarters now. They used to, y'all know, up until about the 60s, the vice president used to just stay at home. He didn't have a quarters.
They got their own little situation.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
they got it now at one of those observatories up there. Yeah, observatories up there. So it's just, man. It's you know what? I'm a little excited because of the new young Congress people, Matt. That they got some young congressmen that's challenging Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer in Congress. They are like that girl from New York. She giving them hell. Ana Cortez. They call
I know you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, so back to Atlanta. I mean, think about it, man. You in the city and live in the state. Everybody in the world is watching y'all. How do that feel? Everybody in the world.
It's exciting. It's exciting, but like, you just all want to be for a good cause. Like, we the hottest city in America. Everything runs through Atlanta, Georgia.
Good point.
Music, TV, culture, like not a political stuff.
That's a good point.
How does it make me feel? Like it feel good that like I got people in California or in Washington State ask me like, yo, where's the Cap County at? How far is that from you? Like, you know what the Cap County is? Like, yeah, I do. Like, my brothers live over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's good, and I think like the efforts leading towards yesterday's election, and especially like all this elections, like is is crazy because it's so much grassroots effort, you know what I'm saying, voter registration, educating the youth, getting out to vote, you know what I'm saying, people spending money on like concerts and different creative stuff on social media to kind of get the attention. And I know some of my female friends who got this thing called Party at the Mailbox where you have to post on social media, that you're voting, and they give you send you a box to your house, and the box had like a Atlanta Vote T-shirt, a custom hot sauce from a black-owned business. The girl Pinky from Slutty Vegan had her own chips in there, and a couple of different like crayons and different stuff. It's like a part of the mailbox. It's kind of like a little, so it was something dope. So like different creative things to kind of creating that buzz. And like one thing I know, they've been super aggressive on the text messaging. Unstop all day, every day. Did you vote? Did you vote? Hey, Robert Hatter, I see that someone's been voting in your house. Like, what, you need a mail-in ballot? People knocking at your door. Like my mom said, she got out the car. She was walking to the house. Somebody's kind of parked on the street. She lives in the cul-de-sac. She get out the car, walking to the mailbox. Somebody's walking towards her. She kind of like, what's going on? Oh no, I don't want to. I just want to make sure you went out to vote. Here's the information. Vote. She like, I already voted. You know what I'm saying? So they really super aggressive. Like, you know, just the campaign. But I think it's cool that like the attention's on us. I'm glad everything kind of went in our favor, you know what I'm saying, for the blue state, but like just also just for a good cause, like, you know, stuff like that.
And it's showing what we can do. Go on, Jimmy. I'm sorry. I was just going to piggyback on that.
Do you think that as far as we embark into the grassroots season, do you think that it would be a good idea for all 12th graders or all players who are 17 years, 10 months old to be mandatory for the register to vote? That, you know, like I say, like you said earlier, man, you can't tell them, it don't matter who they voting for. At least the platform now, because LeBron James and fellow NBA players is what a lot of these young men look up to. That's who they look up to. So LeBron has already been very consistent in his efforts, earning Time Athlete of the Year with his footprint and fingerprints in the political realm. Do you think that athletes who are of age should be required to register to vote before playing on the platform with the EYB or the EYBL? They definitely wouldn't be old enough playing EYB.
Give or take any type of religious or personal belief, like without a doubt, like, you know, because I know our Nike, especially my personal, every kid ain't gonna make it pro or be, you know, make it pro. So this is a way to you getting involved in like political stuff or any kind of open up avenues for networking, also having a voice as an adult, 18 or older, or you can register to vote at 17, but then by the time you can vote by
17 years, 10 months.
Yeah, so like I'm all for it. And plus it gives them a chance to kind of educate themselves on voting.
Now, also, of course, that doesn't just extend downward to the players, the coaches as well. Now, speaking of, a lot of people did not know that Nike had already begun to implement certain measures with their programs going into 2021 as far as what they call tiers. And those tiers, within those tier levels, it required a degree of community service within the programs, right?
Correct.
And so that was why I was tying it in, guys, that this coming out of 2020, going into 2021, if we have to all help to recreate, help to motivate the minds of these young people, as Matt just said, basketball the ball is going to stop dribbling at some point.
And I think community effort voting.
Go on, man.
Our community efforts in voting will also help like educate kids as well. Like just showing like once basketball stopped, like what are you gonna do? And it helped open up doors. And I feel like that we got to be able, especially it's a new day, different time, different era. So it's like we got to educate the youth, and everything now is like starting to get younger. Like you start, like you see the guy, forgot the brother's name, who's running for Congress in Baton Rouge. He
Yes.
started as a low person. Now he's running. Now I seen his campaign. I'm like, oh, I remember him. Like, oh, well, that's pretty good. Like in a 2 year span, and seeing him starting, just kind of like being going to local city council. Now he's running for Congress and seeing his social media following blow up and like people getting behind him. Like, man, that's impressive. Like, and not saying that all kids don't do that, but like you got to get involved.
It's possible,
like,
Matt.
Yeah.
Hold up, Matt. It's more possible for a kid to do that than be an NBA player.
That's only 450 players in the NBA.
Okay. Keep going, Jim.
And now one of the viewers asked, I don't know if you're at liberty to go in depth on it, or if you have possessed the knowledge without, in your all by heart. Somebody asked, B. Scott asked, can you explain the tiers that from the grassroots? That's just a question.
It's just more so like just kind of like in getting involved with just kind of the tier process really was more so like just kind of focus on life after basketball. You know what I'm saying? Building your organization up and stuff like that. Building our organization up, getting more involved with the youth, board members and stuff like that. So
basically in a nutshell, B, and I kind of put a little 2 cents to it. Basically in a nutshell, every program would be encouraged to establish a 501c3. That way the money is that's handling some of the stuff and nobody receiving it. That every program is encouraged to get some of their alumni to get involved in community, and every program is encouraged to do a lot of community efforts like community service functions with their program and all their players, little bitty things like that. And if you meet those, because they're like say for example, some programs don't have alumni. Like let's say a JL3 with John Lucas coming in. Well, alumni he doesn't have, so he wouldn't check the box on having alumni to come back in and help or come and speak or do stuff. But they have, those are things that they want. The most importantly is getting everything in order and checks and balances with the coaches and the volunteers within every organization to make sure that the parents know who's coaching their kids, who's serving as the guidance of these student athletes, and especially when they're under the care of going to those events. That's pretty much in a nutshell. And
guys, I wanted to share something with Matt because people, and I'm glad Matt said it. I think, and I was talking about, Matt, you familiar with Cole Anthony's mom, Crystal McCrary?
Yeah, I've met her a couple of times. Yeah,
we talked about her today a little bit on Women Rock Wednesday, and she was just talking about it's around 9 to 10 million players, 10 million high school basketball players. Number 2,000 roughly get D1 scholarships. 60 get drafted, Matt. 30 make the team, and that don't even factor in the international players. The odds are against you, ladies and gentlemen. The odds are against you. And Matt, right there in your city, you wasn't on, I don't know if you heard the show earlier. You got 2 young women in your city from Atlanta. They went to Georgia State, went and purchased a Hilton hotel, home to suites. 2 young ladies. I got to call their name again. Devon Reeves and Jessica Myers. Those 2 young ladies worked and toiled themselves, 2 best friends, college roommates, and they stayed, and they 33 years old and own their hotel. The hotels they might hold one of the hotels in the Peach Jam or where y'all going to one of y'all tournaments. We keep on talking. These young women are the young men of Houston who gonna listen to this show and gonna follow that footprint. Are the young people in Memphis who gonna look at that show, and we will be staying in their hotel and be renting cars from their budget rental cars or be renting or whatever rental car place. Man, can you imagine? Matt, that's the kind of stuff I like to do. Those are success stories right there. And they right out of your city, Matt. What do you think about that?
I think it's amazing. I kind of heard some chatter about it, but then like my friend Jewel posted and my friend Tony, who know them personally because they all went to Georgia State, posted on their Instagram. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, well, this is huge. Like,
Yes.
you know, owning a hotel that with that price tag in the city of Atlanta, like, man, that's amazing. But I also think too that, like, I think a lot of
No, Matt, they don't own a hotel. The hotel is in Oklahoma.
Okay.
It's in Oklahoma. They just from Atlanta and bought the hotel in Atlanta. I mean, in Oakland. They from Atlanta, but they bought the hotel. The hotel is, I think, let me see. I'm gonna tell you the name of it. It's El Reno, Oklahoma. It's called a Home Two Suites by Hilton. Huh?
Yeah, El Reno is where the biggest economic impact of El Reno. That's over in the old Indian territory, but that's where the federal penitentiary is for transit.
I know you know. If it was a penitentiary somewhere, I know your ass. If
he's in Atlanta, T.I. would know.
I don't need T.I. I got Jimmy Hicks. I don't need T.I.
El Reno is where that was once the transit hub. If your ass went through that, you had to go through El Reno at one point in time.
I didn't know. That's good. Thank you.
I think a lot of these kids too, like, you got to have a plan ahead of time, and you also got to tap into your network. Like, you know, it's all good. You want to make it to the NBA. If you don't go overseas, make some good money, it's not a problem. But like, you have people who play college basketball or collegiate sports who didn't make it to that pro level, but still doing amazing things around the sport, in the sport, and business wise. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my guys, Paul Williams, we grew up together. He's like a brother to me. We talk every day. He owns, him and his family owns, he's on, I think about 6 AT&T stores, like 3 sandwich spots called Nukes or whatever. They had a restaurant downtown called Starvin Seafood, but they had to close it down because of the pandemic. And like, Paul's 33 years old with the Morehouse, played at Morehouse, point guard. Like, you know, so like, it's like him and his brother, they kind of running everything. Like, they got the AT&T stores booming, like amazing, in the community, like it's there, you know. But you just gotta really just kind of like, kids gotta put their products out and ask, like, man, you know, tap into them alumni service at them colleges, or just talk to your coach, like, or whatever. A lot of kids don't speak up, then you don't know. Then by the time they be asking for help, when it be too late.
But Matt, they've been taught it's all about basketball, Matt. All they thinking about is basketball. If you ever meet my son, ask him, well, he said one of my favorite quotes I gave him. I said, man, you don't go to West Point to become a crossing guard. You ain't taking your ass up to Cornell to come down here and work in somebody's office. You ain't doing that. If you go there, you're going to be a captain of industry. Or you can stay. Right. You can stay your ass around here. When you go,
what's your son doing now?
You're on Wall Street. He's on Wall Street. Yeah,
big time.
But got a startup company that we can talk about in a few months when it goes public. So but he tapped into his resources. He didn't go up there. Oh, I'm a basketball player. He went and hung out with the people in the library.
Right.
And now these young guys are doing things, man, that I never even freaking thought of doing. Like these young girls. A hotel? She used to work at the hotel, the Hyatt Regency. This one of these girls. Matt. Downtown. And now she own a hotel. Come on, Matt. These young kids ain't playing. Y'all can
Matt, want to ask you, speaking of the election, we're looking at all of the, of course, this dark day when we came on the show. This is a historic day. So indeed, January the 6th will be, I guess, it would be in the history books of the United States of America and the world for many of the wrong reasons.
Right.
And I want to ask you, being in Atlanta, traveling around the country, did you experience any relationships from, let's say, Trump supporters that kind of tarnished as you guys approached the election, during the election, afterwards? And you notice people kind of shifted gears on you, for one reason or another?
Nah, I never feel. I know a lot of Trump supporters Trump people. I know a lot of people that voted for Trump, and I asked them why, and they was like, mostly because of the tax stuff, because the tax stuff or whatever. And that's what they said. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't experienced people looking down on me because I'm voted for Biden, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm voting blue. I haven't experienced any type of shade or kind of hate my way or whatever. But I am cautious and aware of what's going on because, we know what Trump stands for and what he's been, with the whole negativity, the racism stuff, and not showing empathy, that's what he does. I'm not for that, but you kind of have to be mindful who you're around and like, man, if you support this dude, is this what you really feel or what's going on? So I haven't really personally affected, but like, trust and believe though, like you still have that cloud and that hate in the air daily. You just got to be mindful. You be on the highway, you see people with Trump stickers, and it's like a little racial tension, but like it's still the South though. Like it's still a Confederate state.
Yeah.
Like don't sleep.
Get it
Like don't
twisted.
be naive. Yeah, don't be. Don't,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So you have to be
indeed.
Like I was trying to tell you this morning about Memphis, my hometown. It's red. It's redder than any state you ever gonna be. But Matt, I was just sitting here and I've been consistent with this over the years since this happened. I always said I'm not mad at Trump. I all he did is expose these same people. These same people been like this all the time, Matt. These people that's on this TV right now, they been like this all the time, Matt. They just walked by you and didn't say nothing. But now he pulled a scab off. That's all. This is America. Eddie Glaude said, I got it in a video, this is America, Matt. This what's happening right here. And Matt, I got the screen over here, Matt. Somebody got a sign up said, Jesus saves. Some of these people go to church on the evangelicals. Got a sign that said, Jesus saved. Then Trump name next to him. Let me tell y'all something, man. It's some people that say they friends with y'all, but they believe this. This is America, man. I hate to say it, it is. So, but I mean, go on, Jimmy. You can go. You can go.
Well, I mean, it understands something. And I was speaking to somebody on about 2 days ago, and this was a white person and I always try to, when the opportunity presents itself for white people that you guys may have as allies, to whenever it presents itself, you don't force the topic in, but you just, not even the topic, you just force a question in. And one of the questions was that we was talking, and the guy said, he said, we got to understand something. A lot of white people are scared as hell. Why? And so we wonder, why are you scared? We know some people may be afraid for what the fear of the unknown, and that's the rooted element. Here's what the deal is, especially down in Texas. The United States of America, the majority race is Caucasian. This census that we just did last year, they've delayed the results. It's going to even become more scarier because they've already, before even doing this census, they've already calculated or projected that by 2045, the Caucasian race will become the minority. The Hispanics will be the majority.
Mm.
And so you think many of the Hispanics, that's why the fight, and you start thinking now back 4 years ago, how, let's build a wall. Let's do, efforts were being made to try to hinder the growth rate, which was about 28%. The national average is about 7% growth rate of a race. They've been over the past 4 years, 28%. That's 4 times. And they keep going. Think about it. COVID, what they've been doing. Probably at home, letting loose during the COVID. Getting it in. Hospitals populated, beds, pregnancy ward, codes included in that. But back to the point is, they are afraid. So now.
Afraid of what? What you say? He said you're afraid of what? He said he's afraid of what?
Fear of the unknown. They're afraid that because they know that the day is coming, possibly that they're going to become the minority. And if indeed once that happens, of course, these people now will be on the back end of life, of this life expectancy of their age limit. But as a race, that means now the tables will possibly turn. That's why, and that's why they went and put as many judges in place.
Did you ask him what he mean by the tables will turn? I'm just trying to see, because
the tables could turn, meaning that if the minorities now and someday if you're the minority, then you don't have a majority, then your odds of gaining and retaining political strongholds, which you once had, will start to decimate. And it's like in Texas. See it now. Texas is right there. But guess what state? But us in California have the largest Hispanic population in the country.
But
so think about what
I can understand his fear, because I can't get inside of his head. But I just don't think, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna do what's been done to my ancestors, because a lot of that stuff wasn't done to me. I just want to make sure it don't happen again. And I wouldn't wish what my ancestors have been through, Matt, upon anybody. You know, I wouldn't wish that. All we ask for is when Matt walks into a bank, and when Eric Raspberry walk into the bank, Eric he's on the feed right now, that I can get the same loan as Eric does. Eric's property, because I got a red line that on this side, Matt can't go on this side. Matt can only buy property on this side. This property value is not going to ever rise as high as the property on this side. That means Eric is going to be more wealthy. His kids going to be more wealthy than my kids. That's what we are fighting for. That's what I'm fighting for. Because that's all we want to be able to do. And I know it sounds it weird, but it's happening. I told y'all. But if you go buy properties enough, and then I get a letter, Matt, and the letter said I'm part of a lawsuit. I didn't sue nobody, but I'm part of a lawsuit, a class action lawsuits, that the property that I bought in this area, I was being discriminated because I was black. They were charging me more money, and the interest rate was higher. Matt, this happening to people, man. That's the thing that if of all things, that and that police that think they can, that a qualified immunity, I can shoot you, I'm the police, and I can't go to jail. Those are the two things that, and I hope that guy, your friend, Jimmy, and I wish I would have talked to him. I'm gonna say, but me, black people, the most people, we most of us ain't like that. Some of us ain't no good now. That's over. But I'm not trying to reverse. I don't want to do you and say now, okay, Matt, you get the loan and Eric don't get the loan. No, just let me.
Understand, the fear of the unknown exists. And that's like when you were in school, that was
Jimmy, I'm not telling him about not. Whoa, stop. I'm not doubting what your man said. I'm telling you how I feel.
I understand that, but that's okay. But here's a difference. Here's a difference. Mm-hmm. Those conversations ain't to be had with a person that don't know the other person. Those conversations are only to be had from the person that has another person as an ally. if that person is white and they're an ally of yours, then you engage in that conversation. It ain't that conversation ain't going nowhere for a person that you don't know.
I ain't trying to get that conversation. I'm trying to get
what do you mean?
I'm trying.
What do you mean?
I said I ain't trying to get that conversation. I'm trying to get them
people. So tell me this: if you're not trying to get that conversation, it's not the conversation, it's the understanding.
Jimmy, that's the way you live. I'm trying to get people to Congress so we can change those laws. That's all.
Helen, we not talking about changing the law. You want to change the law? Go run for one of them seats.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the city council.
Yeah,
go start there.
Yes,
I'm talking about the understanding of
So you understand? Hold up, you understanding what the hell he mean? What that's gonna do? What? Tell me, you understanding it?
What do you mean? What you understand?
How is that going to benefit you? Hold on, Jimmy. How is that going to
what makes a person tick? How that helps you to even make conscious decisions.
How is that going to benefit you? You can make conscious.
Absolutely does benefit you. Understand the person.
It don't benefit me. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
There are certain white folk that after talking with them now or after seeing their comments, then you understand what's in their mind and what's in their heart. And at that point, you can make a calculated decision to either continue with them as an ally or to back off of that relationship or to just feed them with a long handled spoon.
Hey, Matt,
either or.
Matt, you can comment. Matt, you can comment.
Understand what makes them tick.
Matt, Matt, you can comment at any point, Matt.
Just because some people carry a pistol on their side, different people carry for different reasons. Some people just want you to know I'm exercising my right as a citizen to carry a firearm. Some people carrying that firearm with the I wish you would. Some people carrying that firearm to saying if a black person did it to me or a person of another color did it to me, then it's on and popping.
I'm lost. Matt, you can comment.
Understand it.
I'm lost right now. I'm lost. Matt, because I see how a lot of people feel. They on my damn TV, on all these monitors. I see how a lot of them feel. I see how a lot of them feel on my monitor right here. But Matt, you can comment.
If you know any of those, then you probably would say, damn, ain't surprising me.
Okay,
look closely on the TV screen.
Hey, Mr. Brody.
As some of those white guys that's walking on it when they're going to show the news footage all day, watch closely at their arms. And what will you be watching for? I'm going to tell you. You're going to see tattoos of some. You might not be able to identify those tattoos, but you'll see what they call sleeves. Sleeves is when you have an arm full of tattoos. And guess what? You would be able that don't surprise you. They just erupted a cross on the lawn of the Michigan State Capitol just a while ago. One of those crosses that you need a little rope to pull up, like back in the days. That's been January the 6th, 2021. That was done. Unbelievable. And so now, of course, back to you, Matt, before we get ready to land the plane, and what it is your moving forward, I want to ask you, I left a question on the table, your thoughts on the conversation or the message that was sent out on social media by the father of Marvin Bagley, the Sacramento Kings, and the response from Aaron Fox, the father of Aaron Fox.
You want my opinion?
Matt, come on, Matt.
It's a time and a place for everything. And if you're a parent, stay in the parent's place and just handle stuff behind closed doors. If a parent feels like, and I'm just generalizing, if a parent feels like my kid not getting the playing time, he should be traded or he should transfer, go to the coach, talk it out. If it doesn't go your way, go in a different direction. I just don't agree with taking everything to social media. Like, that's not it. Then causing a big uproar over something that could be had a conversation behind closed doors on any level of the sport. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially that's why NBA players have agents. Agents buffer all that stuff.
Matt, you've been watching the show.
The agents are the bad guys. They do the good and the dirty work. You work through them. Like if you feel like a kid should be traded or a parent feel like the kid should transfer, they're not getting playing time. Everybody has their own personal opinion. I'm not with the social media attacking and all this other stuff. I don't agree with that, but to each his own.
Yeah, Matt, you want to watch this show. That's exactly what I said on Monday. Oh no, it's exactly what I said on Monday. But thank you for they call that confirmation. Maybe it sounds better coming from your ears. And that's the first thing I said. Call the agent first. Hey man, get my son out of there. Then it's my job to go get him out of there. So that is in what Mr. Bagley, in his defense, he means well for his son. Don't get that twisted. Mr. Bagley means well for his son. I can't, but sometimes as parents, how when people be around, they done been around y'all. They done been around some agents. They think they know it all. You got guys now who think they can do a damn contract now, Matt, and ain't never seen one of these mothers in their life in person. Hold up, I'm gonna pick one up. Ain't never seen one of them in person in their damn life, but they think they can do it. But what I like about what I would think about Mr. Bagley, my big thing on Mr. Bagley is way over there. For Mr. Bagley is never seen one of these in their life. But they think they can do it. And he just needed to just calm down, because whatever he does hurts his kid. Whatever he does, and that's all. I've never seen a parent do. LeVar Ball didn't do that. LeVar, everybody say he did. I don't remember him doing that.
He didn't do what?
Tweeted, said trade him right now.
He didn't tweet it, but he said it.
Okay.
He said it. It's the same damn thing.
We just talking about tweeting right now.
Well, he didn't tweet it, but he
to you guys who can't. Matt made me mad. Hold up, Matt. I don't like what you said. Why? Hey, Matt, 25. Hey, Matt, 45-25 Wayuka. Remember, we talked about that. 45-25. I just wanted you to 45-25. Go by that. You can go by that.
I think the power of social media is amazing, but a lot of people it's so powerful. People don't understand the ramifications that comes with it on certain things or whatever. Because a lot of times, just use a general player, a parent's tweeting something like that can easily cause division within a team or off the court, stuff like that. It causes some friction. It can. I hope it doesn't. But like those stuff, it happens daily. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a professional basketball player, would let that get to them and affect their performance?
Yes.
Well, he ain't built for that then.
We know that.
Oh, that's a whole. Wait a minute.
Because I just think like you just gotta be a lot of times like as a player at any level, you gotta be mentally strong to lock in and cut out the noise and just go perform. Production matters, winning matters. That cures everything. But everything's all about individual stuff going on. It's like my brand, this, my brand, that's like, man, like what about winning? Be mentally locked in and strong.
Do you know Lonzo Ball?
I mean, I've been around and spoke to him, but I don't know him personally like that. No.
Oh, you don't know either brother? Have you ever met LeVar? Because there's some
I've
people
him before, but I don't know him like that. But I've met him a couple times. Yeah.
But there's some people feel on this feed think he done them kids done ran away from him. He was at the draft just other day. So when did he run away? When did his kids run away from him?
Runaways like they don't. What do you mean by?
They don't mess with him no more. When did that happen? I got the wrong. I didn't get that memo.
I don't know anything about that, but I do know this from a general sports thing, especially watching kids in the youth from the middle school, high school to college to pro. These kids going to grow up and have their own world and their own life and want to make their own decisions. So sometimes a parent just have to play a parent role, supportive. I'll be here if you need me, but like you can't tell little Stevie like you can't do that. Like, what you mean? I got my own money. I'm grown. You can't tell what to do. Like, no, I want to do this business over here, or I want to do this. Like, a parent's got to be supportive and like, hey, put that parenting expertise on it, but then it's go from there. Because nowadays, like, kids, it's too much information out that the kids can't find out. Social media, Google, back in the day when we was growing up, that stuff wasn't available. Not everybody has information they can get and they can dissect what they want and apply that to themselves. If it's good or bad, or pretty or ugly, whatever.
So you're saying like Beyonce left her dad?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. She leaving her dad for cool, but at the end of the day, that's still her dad. They still gonna happy birthday, love you.
That's the point.
That's not a problem. But like doing business, like I feel like so here's the better fit for me, and we have a better chemistry, so I'm gonna go do business with them.
But some of these people are blind and think the man is running his family. The kids just don't want him to handle their business. Is that what you're saying? Or I don't. If he was at the draft, just how many?
Like that's. But let me give you an example.
Okay.
You probably won't mind me sharing it.
No.
Jordan Tucker played for the New York Rams, went to Duke, transfer, finished at Butler. His dad, Lou Tucker, big time in the music executive, and he was also a sports agent. He represented Daniel Gibson and a couple other players. And I was like, "You gonna represent your son?" I'm like, "You doing anything?" He was like, "Nah." I'm like, "Why not?" Like you successful. He was like, "I just want to be dad and give advice, but I don't want to because we live together. I've been around so much. We bump heads too much. It's too much of the same voice. I'm here to make sure he's good. I'll make sure he works out. I'm being a father." Now he signed with Bill Duffy. I trust Duffy. He's in good hands. I'm going to be a father. I'm like, that's a big time for you because you negotiated a pretty couple of large deal contracts and you've been around a lot of influential people. So for you to relinquish that for your son, like, I respect that. So that's an example. Like, you still could be.
And it's a unique example. It's a unique example because I remember you familiar who Lewis Hamilton is?
The race car?
Yeah.
Oh.
The race car driver, the Formula One driver, right?
Yeah, Formula One, yeah.
He referenced Beyonce. He referenced Beyonce. He said, my dad been handling my career, my whole career. I had to break away from my dad. I just wanted him to be my dad. Not when we come to dinner, I just want him to be my dad and not talk business. He never said he was going to leave his dad because when he won the record, he cried. The first person he went and grabbed was who? His dad. See, that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not talking about the business relationship. I'm just talking about when people keep reading mess on, they the Google hounds. They always read Google and thinking like, they Google and the first thing that come up is on Google. You got to consider certain sources. I've never seen a source say, man, they don't even talk to their dad no more. Never seen. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yes, he ain't with BBB. Ain't nobody talking about BBB. I'm talking about, man, people's relationships with their parents and kids' relationship with their parents. And that's a great, and one of the things about me, Matt, my relationship with my son got better when I never coached him again. I just don't think coaching kids in basketball that long, because when they get a little older, man, they don't want to hear your mouth. They hear your mouth at home. So I understand that. I really understand that.
And I think also too, change is nothing wrong with change. Change is good. There's nothing wrong with change. So as long as you got a plan, you can go forward.
These kids making a lot of money though right now. These kids being the mama, the dad, and everybody, and being the provider in some cases.
Matt, we're getting ready to land that plane, and I want to definitely ask you one of the questions that somebody had put put out earlier, and they asked, will there be an EYBL this year?
I mean, hopefully, yeah. We plan on it. At the end of the day, we're still in the pandemic, and safety's first. So, different cities, different states, numbers are fluctuating. The vaccine is here. Mostly, hopefully the vaccine gets, people. It's just safety first. Like, we want to play basketball, but at the same time, it's like safety comes first. Like, you can't put your life in jeopardy traveling on a plane for some basketball, and somebody dies and be like, nah, like, what I'm saying? Like, we just got to make sure the coast is clear. And I really, what I'm saying? Like, everybody's trying to figure out what's next. I know some states ain't even playing basketball. Like, I know in Georgia, we're open and like we're playing our high school season still, rocking and rolling, with a little bit of restraints though. But like, is the EYBL season like hopefully it is, Lord willing. But
you know what? You know what's so unique? I find myself conflicted. Like when the basketball and the football they decided to play, I was against them playing. But guess what? I come back and I watch it. I can't wait to go and watch the NBA package tonight. But I didn't really want them to come back. I'm in this environment. I'd rather them be down in the bubble. College basketball. I didn't want them kids to show back up on campus. But I can't wait to see Memphis and Baylor play again. I mean, I'm mad last night. UFC had a contract pricing problem. I'm sitting there waiting to watch a game. And it's crazy, man. I mean, that how you conflicted, how I'm conflicted. Now, I ain't going in person, Matt. But guess what? I watch the hell out of it on TV. But it's conflicted. I'm conflicted by it.
No, without a doubt, especially like with the bubble, because it's so much money went into the bubble from building it out, the daily testing every day. Like, that's what they did there was so amazing. And, hopefully everybody was safe and stuff like that. But like, everybody don't have the resources and the financial means to test everybody daily and stuff like that. So
that's a good point.
Just hopefully everything kind of smooth out and get to at least a level playing field of like with COVID, here to stay, or how do you treat it? Do you stay? Is wearing masks forever? Stuff like that.
Definitely, man. Hey, it's once again. I mean, as we broadcast today's show, everybody's watching split screens in the background, all of the stuff that's unfolding in Washington, D.C. right now. It's, as in the word of Matt Verdon, sad, and it really is. And a lot of times, this is one of those moments, whereas when I go and talk to another white person that I talk to, I'm gonna try to insert different things. I try to insert and say, well, this was one of those moments that a lot of black people, I guess, what they scream about. Like, what if that was the Black Lives Matter movement that stormed the Capitol Hill? What do you think would have happened? And they would say, well, they would, matter of fact, don't even answer me. Just think about it. What do you think? How far do you think they would have got? If there would have been twice as many of those folks would have stormed through that. This is what a lot of people. So if you don't understand, this is case in point, Exhibit A, as to for those.
It's not a level playing field.
At all. They just showed a picture of a guy sitting in the seat holding the gavel in the floor of the Senate.
For real?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where the Speaker of the House sits.
Black people would have been dead, or
climbed over the rail and jumped down.
He
got the complexion for protection. So, Jamie, call your friend and ask him about that one, please. Call your friend.
No, different ones. You can't go to different topics. You got to feed certain ones different topics.
I know what it is. I don't need nobody to tell.
So that's it, man. We appreciate it, Matt. Good convo. I appreciate
y'all for the love and support. I appreciate y'all.
reaching out,
And thank you and everybody down in Georgia for casting your vote, galvanizing and getting it all. Because you had me worried, had me concerned, and I realized, oh, wait a minute. The other counties. Oh hell.
Hey,
it's going down.
I was nervous.
You were nervous, Matt. I was really, you know what? Well, I saw all the work that went on. Those rural counties, you know, that you don't go in sometime. I wrote some of the names down I ain't never heard of in my life. But when I heard those black people down there were voting 99%, 98%, 90 for Warnock and Ossoff, I said, wow. Stacey Abrams. Let me tell you something. We talking about Stacey Abrams, but we can't get off this show. That Roland Martin, right here from Houston, Texas, was down there, man, in the fight, man. Y'all go Google him and follow him. Roland Martin was in every part of Savannah. He was at all of them. Roland Martin did a great job. I want to give him a shout out today too, man, because ain't nobody been talking about him. He kept me informed on a lot of stuff y'all was doing down there.
I know Roland did it. He was definitely on the forefront, coming in, supporting, especially a lot of celebrities too, creating a lot of celebrities kind of like, you know, sharing their 2 cents on social media, but like, hey, if you got friends in Georgia, tell them, hey, make sure they go vote. Make sure you go vote and stuff like that. And I just think like the collaborative effort was amazing. I just hope that we can keep this stuff going forward.
Yes.
Come together as one and unifying and just kind of doing bigger and better stuff down the road.
Yeah. Hey, you wasn't on the beginning of the show. That's exactly what I said. I think we need to repeat that in Texas. And thank for that playbook. I'm gonna let the people in Texas know that text the hell out of these people like they and pull up to your mama house in the cul-de-sac. Let's pull up in some cul-de-sacs.
Hold on, y'all got some elections coming up, or what y'all got coming up down there?
Hold up, dude. It's election every 2 years.
Yep.
See, that's what people keep forgetting about. They worry about the president. It's election every 2 years.
On the local levels, and 4 years for the president, 6 years for senator.
They call it down ballot voting. Them the ballots after Barack won, we stayed at home. We got Barack. And then we get Rand Paul and all of them guys in there that's in power now, them young guys. We can't afford to do that again.
This ain't especially for us, because like we got so much stuff in the pipelines for us. Like Georgia's about to be, Georgia and Atlanta, because I don't know the exact number, but we had a black mayor in this city for a while. Now Keisha Lance Bond, who's our mayor and I love for the death, she's up for re-election.
Yes.
She's up for re-election, and probably one of her opponents that she beat out, Mary Newwood, is a white lady from Buckhead, and Keisha beat her out on the re-election by 800 votes.
Yeah.
And it's just so much political stuff because you know stuff that went on with that stuff. But then after that, we have the governor's race. Brian Kemp versus who? Stacey Abrams.
Got to get him out of there.
Then 2024, we'll be up for what? We'll be up for president re-election again. So now
still working, baby.
Yeah, still working. But like, if you need me to share some tips or share some grassroots effort or something,
I got you, baby. Let me know. I got you.
Like, you know, so if I can support Jimmy too, you know, it's whatever. Like, just, you know, I mean, I know all my social media. If you hit me, let me know. Are y'all on Clubhouse? Y'all on Clubhouse yet?
No, I'm not messing with that yet. I'm done with social media. They're gonna take me out.
You on Clubhouse?
No.
They're gonna take me out, Matt, with this whatever I got now, Matt.
What's Clubhouse, Matt?
Another stupid ass.
I thought Dane might have put you on like a audio app. You just kind of just, you know, voice opinion. It's kind of like a audio panel. It ain't Jimmy, everybody.
Some bullshit. Jimmy, a bunch of people on there just talking. Hold up, Jimmy. Instead of Twitter, they on there talking. How about that? To each other.
One thing I want to give a shout out. Speaking of Atlanta, give a shout out to my man Kerry Willis, Corey, and the players circle. That's their new endeavor. That used to be Record Create.
That's the player circle. Excuse me.
The player circle. It's an app. It's an app with you know, so the kids can update. It's kind of like, you know what it is? It's a basketball app like LinkedIn. update your profile, put all your stuff, all your stats and stuff like that. College coach can look at it, kind of find the players and stuff like that. It's super forward thinking and genius. It's growing daily. I tell people about it often as much as I can, but it's really good. I think a lot of those kids that's you can't see everybody, but you have kids that's kind of like bottom tier or just not bottom tier, correction, that don't get a lot of love and a lot of attention. This is a good app for you to download for a parent, upload your information, and it's really cool. Kids can talk about their music they like, and you kind of get a feel for what's going on. Then, like, you know what, like, talk about their GPA, highlights, what music they like, what shooter like, and it's really good.
Matt, you got to help me, Matt. Help me with this one, Matt. If they not getting a lot of attention, could it be because the ass can't play, Matt?
The Player Circle is the name of the app again. The Player Circle. I see
Okay.
the Raspberry app.
Matt, you said the kids not getting a lot of love, huh? Help me.
Not getting a lot of love is like you might have somebody like me who's like a potential could be a possible pro or late bloomer, but haven't got a lot of attention, and they might be in the middle of nowhere. So then some of the kids that we found at Jimmy's event, they be in the back gyms. The next thing you know, like, man, this our kid out here killing. You know what I'm saying? Like Ja Morant. Ja Morant was a late bloomer. He was been pretty good, but not like I never saw that Ja Morant was going to be the kid he is now until I went to CP3 camp and like he was the best player there. I'm like, oh wow, this kid got a lot better. Like, oh, he's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think every little bit helps. You know what I'm saying? And also too for parents, if your kid is playing ball and he ain't making it on the court, it's nothing wrong with being a student manager. I'm about learning how to edit video, being a video coordinator. There's nothing wrong. Like, you know what? I'm gonna work in the AD's office. I'm gonna be a walk-on or whatever. Like, I know the game, but like, I'm gonna take a step back, be the video coordinator, learn to work with a coach. There's nothing wrong with that because you're still a part of the game. Those people matter. You're just not on the forefront.
Indeed, of course, guys.
Thank you, Matthew.
If you're not watching, there are reports of a woman being treated for gunshot wounds outside the Capitol. And so that obviously means shots have been fired in some capacity as we scroll through here. But Matt, we got to get up out of here.
Yes, Matt.
On this day, we in extended overtime session right now. And
you got it like that, Matt.
And speaking of overtime,
if you come back on, let me know. I'm here.
Yeah, we're gonna rock with you, Matt, and also we're gonna get you right now and get you an invitation because I'll be remiss not to invite you to H-Town for the spring icebreaker where it all started for you. Come on down there for the icebreaker, March the 19th through the 21st, and kick it. Get a chance to sharpen your pencil.
What's the date on that?
Names, faces.
March 19th. Through 20.
Hey, Jimmy, what's that event that I came to that time? I was like years ago. It was in Katy, Texas.
Katy.
Oh, that was the season opener.
I was in Katy.
Crazy hospitality. You had the crazy hospitality room. I remember Drake mentioned Katy, Texas in one of his songs, and I'm like, I've been there. They was like, nah, I'm like, I've been there. Like, Jimmy had the gumbo, he had the crazy spread. I'm like, man. I don't know who do it better between you and Keith Stevens. Y'all competing in the hospitality championship.
What Keith Stevens at? Man, what city in? What's
DC Team Takeover?
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's up there right now, man. I might give him a call today.
So Jimmy, you want to talk about the show tomorrow?
Yeah, and of course on tomorrow's show we're going to be joined by Jesse Washington of the Undefeated, and Jesse came last week. They released the autobiography that he powered and he penned on the late great John Thompson. He's gonna come and speak about that book, and of course, he's on the East Coast, so a lot of stuff going on right now. Jesse right there, and I know he want to share his minds a little bit close. We talked about some Georgia stuff today. We're gonna talk about the East Coast and what's rocking up there, and how these people. And now the thing awaits. How they're going to treat this 6 p.m. curfew, which has been implemented by the mayor of Washington, D.C. 6 p.m. curfew. We're going to see. That's a hell of a curfew. Not a 9 p.m., but a 6 p.m. So expect some fireworks. That's the whole thing. We're just watching this here.
Oh, it's crazy.
And how this thing is going to unravel on the day. But this is once again, one hell of a day. And because the optics, and that's one of the reasons why we're in overtime, because this is unnormal circumstances. But it's like so many different camera shots we are seeing, and I'm seeing where police officers or people in officers' uniforms or seem to be walking alongside some of the protests, like this strolling along the flow of water just streaming down the boulevard. And I'm like, I'm just really I'm numb right now.
You're numb?
No, mentally, when you see something like that, how to just pay attention. Like a lot of the stuff that
I knew this was going to happen, Jimmy.
TV,
but how did it get to this point though? Like, how do you let people just kind of like parade in the Capitol out? Like, how does this happen? Like, you can't even.
If it was Black Lives Matter, it would have been different.
No, Lil Rick hit it harder than that. I like. As a matter of fact, we'll take Black Lives Matter out the way because that's easy. That's an easy counterpoint. If it was the Nation of Islam or the Fruit of Islam in particular that walked up in there or tried to walk up in there,
dude. I mean, I'm not. Hey, I'm gonna tell you the truth. As soon as the show over, I can't wait to go watch it. I want to watch how
this is going to be the best reality show, the most watched reality show of the 2021. Well, no, the inauguration gonna be off the charts as well.
Yeah, Jimmy, they need to go throw all ass. Jimmy, you see that water out there? They need to just go throw all ass in that cold ass water right in front of the Capitol. That's what they need to do.
I'm gonna tell you something. Remember, Mitch McConnell, and what's the other one name?
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham. Remember, Lindsey Graham was over the Judiciary Committee. He's no longer the head of the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
It's the guy from New York State that's over it now.
Okay.
Well, as of the when the inauguration, what is it, January the 26th, the 20th? One of you guys help me, whatever date it is. But his name,
when you're right, you remember it. I'm just gonna
tell you. Brad Holyman.
Mitch, hey, y'all better be on a watch for Mitch McConnell. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Why? You know how Matt, you might have this thing, you might want to be whatever you want to be. You grow up, you want to be Michael Jordan. Jimmy might want to grow up and be the best whatever in the world. Mitch McConnell's whole thing in his whole life, if you go read his memoirs, was to be the Speaker of the House. To be the leader of the Senate. His whole life, he didn't want to be president. He didn't want for that. He just wanted to run for senator, and he wanted to get the Senate a majority lead. So he wanted his dream job, and it just got snatched from him. That's all he wanted to be, Matt. Oh, he gonna be. He looked like Granny on Beverly Hillbillies. But he gonna be really hot. I just wanted to share his whole life. That's all he ever wanted to be, and now it's taken away from him. But yeah, this stuff, man. Let's get off here, Jimmy. Let's yabba dabba do this thing, man.
Yeah, man. That's and Jeffrey Day said when you come to H-Town for the icebreaker, bring Team Huncho along with you.
And TSF. I saw the chat said TSF too as well.
Yeah, he said TFF. TSF. Yeah, what's that?
Program out of Atlanta. They on the Nike circuit as well. The TS is called the Skills Factory.
Oh, okay.
I saw somebody in the chat had mentioned as well. Jimmy, what's the name of the spot we went to?
Hey Jimmy, y'all see me move a minute ago. I was about to go get the gat, right? Because I heard some stuff on my ceiling. It's the dude coming taking the crystal stuff down. The crystal stuff down. Dude, I clicked that button. I said, okay, we talking about these folks? I thought the Proud Boys was out there.
One thing I ain't got to worry about them. I ain't got to worry about them. They ain't coming up they ain't coming this good. They'll go
Oh, yeah,
they'll try
yeah.
some hood.
Yeah.
They ain't coming this. I know one hood, they ain't gonna even think about coming down.
Hey, man, I clicked me off quick as hell. I said, what the? Let's see what's happening. But man, hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Send us out of here, Jimmy. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, baby.
It's time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Women Rock Wednesday. Shout out to everybody, man, who tuned into the Chop Shop.
Shout out to Miss Leah.
I mean,
shout out to Miss Leah, Jimmy.
Tune in and eat in. As everybody will give a thanks support to Matt Verdon for tuning, rocking with us, for chopping it up with us on the Chop Shop on this day. We're getting back, and of course, you guys, I'm gonna definitely personally hold true and get him on down and relight the candle, get him back down there for you guys for the icebreaker. I got big spring icebreaker news. As a matter of fact, coming up on tomorrow for you guys. I'm talking about like really, really game-changing news about the spring icebreaker. That's March the 19th through the 21st, something that has never been done. I love creating history in grassroots basketball. We've been doing it since 2001, and this will be our 20th year, Matt. So it's the 20th anniversary of the spring icebreaker as well. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Share the show if you hadn't done so on your way out. Matt, you can share the show as well.
Yeah, man.
Share button.
Share the show, man. Hey, and shout out to Miss Coach Leah too, Jimmy. Shout out to Coach Leah today. She was excellent today. Yeah.
Yes, her and Alex
foundation program.
And congratulations to her and the foundation having the 501c3 established in the state of Texas as well as Minnesota. So shout out to Coach Leah as well, and see all you guys. We'll be right back in 22 hours. We're gonna be popping Jesse Washington from the Undefeated joining us tomorrow. Also,
grassroots news, Jimmy. We got grassroots news tomorrow too, Jim.
We got grassroots news tomorrow.
Yeah.
We also got spring. That's including spring icebreaker news.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go over to rcssports.com. There's a lot of new articles on the front today. Jeffrey Day he done showed out today. He popped a Willie. Had 3 articles new on the front of the website.
Hush your mouth.
Of course, all of the recaps and the VIP news from last night's game. Beaumont United, we'll talk about them tomorrow. They are real. Also, guess what? A top-ranked high school has paused their basketball activities. You guys will never guess who it is. Go over to the VIP news, and I tell you all about it. You read all about it inside of there. Yes, one of the top teams in the state of Texas has just shut everything down, at least for a week.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
You don't blame them?
No. It's the pandemic.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I blame them too. They're supposed to. Yeah. If you got a positive. Anyway, guys, we'll be right back at you. We up out here, guys. It is time to go. Thanks a bunch, Matt.
Matty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Matt was filming this thing all day. Man, we got things to do. Go.
Yeah, man, we gotta go, man.
Up out of here. We up out of here.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop